What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. I am Mr. Den Show. I'm sorry. I'm your host, Ed Honcho, man. Welcome. It is an honor. It is a privilege, and most of all, as always, it is my pleasure to get to chop it up with you guys each and every night. Is that gendered language? Well, you guys and gals each and every night. Man, I thank you for being here. Tonight, we're going to discuss human trafficking. And maybe not in the way that you expect us to talk about it, but we're going to cover a few different angles. So we're going to talk about that, and that should be interesting. And, whatever else is going on in the world today, y'all know how we do here in the Den. Like I said, I appreciate you for being here. I thank you for taking the time. You could be anywhere in the world. Well, technically you are anywhere in the world. But you're here with the Den folk. You're here with me, and I appreciate that. So, let us see who we have joining us tonight while I dilly-dally and do some tomfoolery in the background. I'm stupid. So, I see K. Grace, M. Grace, Rashida, Shannon, Brenda, Coltrane, Bell, and Tulio. What's the motherfucking deal? Savage Donald Trump, just Sarah, only one. Rashida, Sweetberry, 32. Shelly. Interesting. Mr. 335, Mr. Dakota, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Toxic Femininity, what's the motherfucking deal? Trixie McFly, Jimmy T, what's the motherfucking deal? Hello Heidi. Heidi's here. Everybody. Show's over now. Debo Infinity Pimp, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Hey, Jack, if I missed you, I ain't dish you. I was reading off my proper pistachio. Damn it, Heidi got here just in time to get some damn pistachios. Young Poppy, what's the motherfucking deal? So here's the deal when it comes to pistachios. And technically it's early bird, but I let the people, when I look at the timestamps, if it's right on the dot, you still get credit for the early birds. So, I think that's fair. I mean, technically, you're not early, but whatever. I guess, color people's time. If you're on time, I guess that's considered pretty early. So, like I said, we're going to talk about human trafficking, sex trafficking, whatever. We're going to talk about some interesting things. Because I've seen an influx of stories from angles and videos and things all over the place, right? And just lots of videos. Everybody's getting sex trafficked. There's no more women in the United States. They all got kidnapped. They're all, I don't know, in Mexico, wherever they're taking them. Dubai. I don't know. When you go to Dubai, it's willingly. You willingly go to Dubai. But they're all over the place. There are no more women. That's why the rise of the sex robots is a thing now because, well, there's no more women in the United. They've all been kidnapped. White vans everywhere, right? Let's talk about some stuff, okay? Y'all know how we do here in the Den. The Den is always an interesting perspective. Even if it's not my perspective that's interesting, I love to hear from the people and how they feel about these things. I'm going to come out and say it, right? I'm going to come out and I'm just going to say it. I think a lot of this shit is fucking overhyped, okay? A lot of it. Now, I do believe that there are incidents that are taking place. I do believe there's a lot that goes on that we don't have any idea about. But I think a lot of this stuff, and I don't know if it seems like the last month or two, maybe, like it's just been all over the place, right? And forgive me for being cynical, but we live in this day and age where everyone, everyone craves attention. And they will do it by any means necessary. And they'll do it by any means necessary. Barbara Ebron, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening? If you're on time, you're Cartier, what's the motherfucking deal? Versatile Titan, what's the motherfucking deal? And again, maybe it's dismissive to those who have been sex trafficked. But there's a couple of things going on because I've seen some videos, right? Women sharing stories of that they were almost, kidnapped and took here, took there, and all of these things. And there's not a whole lot of proof outside of, their story. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're all lying, right? I'm not gonna say that they're all making this stuff up, but I'm extremely skeptical, if you will. Okay. Everything tastes better in a den mug. So the reason why I say this is because some of the people that have made videos and some of the people that have shared stories, and then you see people walking up to that white van. Criminals are dumb. Like, low-level criminals are very stupid, right? I'm stupid. Some of the stupid shit that I did. You get away with certain shit for a certain amount of time, but you make mistakes or you do things, whatever. But people who have a well-oiled, well-organized machine, they're creative. They find ways to do things, and usually they get caught because, somebody within that system did something dumb, got caught, and then they end up, passing the buck. If the white van was the symbol of sex trafficking, I think sex traffickers would switch it up, They're not riding around this motherfucker with just, free candy on the vans anymore. What is it now? What, free red bottoms or something? How they? And let me get through all this. What I'm saying is that a lot of these older women who are posting videos, I don't think they're being sex trafficked. They might be getting kidnapped by an old boyfriend or some shit. But as far as being kidnapped to be sex trafficked, it's hard for me to buy that. And the reason why I say that, this is just my logic, right? And again, I could be so far off. I could be absolutely wrong. But if you're going to steal someone, I would think that they would be a bit younger, teens probably. And they don't give a fuck. We can sit here and say, well, 18 is the legal. They don't give a fuck if you're kidnapping them to put them in brothels. I'm thinking you're stealing between the mid-teen or early teen, at the oldest, early 20s, right? Especially you're basically putting this person into some form of sex slavery or whatever you want to call it. There's a reason why that they would probably go with that range. They would probably be smaller, maybe a bit more ignorant, maybe not, as aware of their surroundings. I'm sure that's what people who would, I guess, I don't know, would pay to use these services or wherever wherever things, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the inner workings. I'm not a sex trafficker, so I can't tell you. But they're not out there hunting down 40, 50-year-old women. Unless there's just like a fetish trafficking organization, and then people want some of that MILF action, or whatever they like, the matures, and so this is my theory. I don't want to call it a strategy because people say, well, let's watch this, let's see what he's talking about here. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Because to sit here, and that's why I say, and I'm going to go all over the place with this. When people say, "Well, I'm a mother," I've seen people who are mothers or moms are going to do terrible things, especially if they have drugs involved, especially if they're impoverished, especially shit. Even when celebrities come in the picture, R. Kelly ain't the first to do what he did. They've had parents who have signed their children over to celebrities at young ages. Was it Nugent talking about that a while back? Parents would sign their girls over to him. Anyway. But we're talking about trafficking, illegally kidnapping, taking, and running off. So the younger situation would probably be what they would target, right? It just makes more sense to me that would be the route they would go. I think it would be much more difficult for anything else. I don't think that and I hate to say a return on investment, but it just seems that older women would be much more trouble than they're worth. Um, and let's be honest, man. There's like a stereotype with black women, and I've seen a lot of black women posting videos about being almost kidnapped and all this other stuff. There's a stereotype that it just goes around with black women, and culturally, and even black women say it themselves. Oh, we're the least. We say we had a conversation about that a few weeks back. I think maybe a couple of months ago. So I don't think that would be their primary target, unless like I say, the big ass thing is in or whatever it may be. And again, I don't think it would be older, even if it was, even if you are getting some variety. Some people probably just don't give a shit. So again, I'm not going to dismiss them all as liars, but if you think about it, if a woman came out and said, I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that, what are the repercussions of her saying this? There are absolutely none. You get a bunch of people feeling sorry for you and giving you attention, and you got random dudes, the white knights coming out and saying, well, I would have protected you and saved you. If you would have had a man, I'd have been the one to make sure it never happened. So you get all this love and attention, you get a little virality. But again, I could be wrong. I mean, stranger things have happened, right? So you're a terrible person. You're a terrible fucking person. These are just my thoughts, Again, if you disagree, make sure when the line opens up to call in and let me know how much you disagree. But like I said, I'm just going by the stigma of the world. I don't know if you guys saw that video. They were asking like these Japanese, like random Japanese people, or I don't know if they were Japanese, Korean, some form of Asian. I would say Oriental, but I think I heard Oriental is disrespectful. I don't know. Oriental's like the worst. We argued about that. That's like one of the worst fucking ramen noodle flavors. They still didn't make that. Was it a seller? But I didn't say that now. I didn't say victims. All right, I didn't say victims. I said alleged, I almost got away with it. But to me, it's like you have nothing to lose. And again, if they never find the person who did it, well, you were the lucky one. You were one of the lucky ones. Seen lots of random stories. I saw a story, one of these here in Houston, there was a white van outside a store. Somebody went in the store and told the woman that she had too many kids, that they would buy one of her kids from her right there in the store. Really? 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 I don't know. It's hard to believe, right? Fucking Heidi. But it's hard to believe. And so, while a lot of this is spreading, a lot of this shit is going on, I'm not going to dismiss the fact that it's happening. It is happening. It does happen. But I don't think that every white van, just fucking plumbers out there getting attacked. I don't think every white van in America is a fucking sex trafficker. There was a video of a white van, I guess, on the corner where some kids were getting off a bus and they walked up to the window. The windows were tinted or whatever. And they're knocking on, I'll beat you up and I'll do all this other. I don't know, man. You just got to stop. I think we got to stop acting emotionally, and just stop overreacting and pay attention, I don't think that somebody would sit right there out in the fucking open. I mean, again, people are dumb. People have done stupid things. I don't know. I could be so fucking wrong. I could be maybe I could be wrong. I could be right too. But I could be the wrongest person on earth. The most disconnected person on earth. Maybe I'm wrong. But to just sit there in front of everybody, I mean, what are you going to do? Scoop and score? I mean, it just seems like it would be a hassle. I saw another video where, now this one was a bit more interesting because this one seemed like it could be, but it seemed like a bunch of women, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were like on community service or something. Looked like they were cleaning up like maybe I don't know if it was an impound lot or, with police impounds or something like that. And they were all in the van and they were just showing how it was fitted. from the inside and the outside, and how, you know, there were no handles and all those things. Now that looked like a fucking "it's over for you" van. Now that looked intriguing. They were talking about they put the chick inside of it and told her to start yelling, like she was yelling, like you couldn't hear anything. I saw a video, I'm not sure what country it was, where allegedly they had kidnapped a bunch of kids and they were trying to cross the border or something. The people all jumped and attacked the van. Those a bit more believable. But if it involved you, I could believe that. But just these random older women that are just getting kidnapped, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze in a situation like that. If I'm thinking, I mean, again, I don't know. I don't know how the system works. Maybe they have special requests or something like that. Could be a thing. Hey, I've never tried the chocolate. Bring me chocolate, woman. So that could be a thing. But again, maybe it's just like I say, just maybe it's the cynic, maybe it's just me being uber skeptical about everything. It just seems hard to believe that that's what they would target. But it is happening, and I've heard stories and of people who have been abducted, and they were talking about, you know, person tried to escape and they made a phone call, and well, that's the last phone call that they ever heard from that person, never to be seen again. There are people that go missing all of the time. Where are they going? Are they being sex trafficked? Again, I could be wrong. You know, we talk about the million, or not the millions, but the several thousand, dozens of thousands, not dozens of thousands, that's not right, tens of thousands of missing women every year, right? And where do they go? I mean, they're not locked in department stores, so I mean, something has to be happening. But I think that there are incidents. I think there's a lot more incidents than may be recorded. Again, you have to be caught, I guess, to figure out the crime. But I think there's a lot of other things that are happening too in those situations. I don't think it's all kidnapped, transported overseas, and, you know, taken somewhere else. And you know, I think that there are a lot more sex crime victims than we want to believe. I would be thinking that, especially if it's here in America, that they're bringing foreigners here, you know, that can't speak the language, that have no connections here. You know, I've heard the stories of, well, we're going to get you a job here. We got a this, that, and the third for you. And they think they're going to come over here and do something else. And they end up coming there and being prostitutes, right? Back in the day, I used to know, we'll call them some gentlemen. And we're not going to describe how this acquaintance came about. But they would, every time I ran across them, they would tell me about this place. Yeah, it's a place out here in Houston. Yeah, it's a place, you know, you go and et cetera, yada, yada, yada. I would not be surprised if this unknown underground brothel was probably supplied with women they've been imported for a particular reason from Mexico, and, you know, brought here under the guise of one thing and forced to do something else. I mean, what other choice do you have if that's the case, right? And that's a tough situation, right? Isn't it terrible to think about that that's what your life is reduced to? I mean, eventually, do you just accept it? Do you really try to fight back? I mean, is it better for a woman to have been kidnapped and put in this position just to accept it? I mean, does she fight back, risking death? I mean, it's unfortunate, and you know, and again, like I said, I do believe that it happens. I do believe that it happens on a semi-regular basis. I think it happens frequently. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are. Like I've said I was going to look them up, but I got a little busy and I didn't have time to. But I do believe it happens. But I just think, like, these people who are going on these videos and doing all of this stuff, like, I don't think that's something you would glorify. It doesn't seem like that's something that you would put out there and promote, you know. And what if that wasn't it? What if they were taking you to a surprise party? Anyway, let me not make light of the situation. Just my personal feelings that every white van you see is not a fucking kidnapper. I think that they would evolve from that if that was the belief, if that was the word that was being spread around. I'm pretty sure they would get hip to that pretty quick and switch it up. Everybody who posts a video talking about that they were almost victims, I don't think that's the case. I do believe that there are people out there trying to use this to gain attention. And they were talking about some of these stories that are going around, like on Facebook and some of these other social medias, have been declared as hoaxes. I think if you, what was it, on Snopes, Snoop Dogg, whatever that website is. You know, they've proven some of these are false, and so I wouldn't be surprised. Well, only one. They've already paid. So, I mean, even if they would help you, they're going to want to get their services. They've already paid. So, you know, there's that. Let me see. I did obtain Scotty from a white woman, but it was not stolen. It was not in a park. It was someone I used to know. You say, yesterday Amazing Polly posted a video on the Finders. She said they had a white guy up at a school doing sleepovers, mentoring molesting black football players. Wow, that's disgusting. Oh, I believe it too. I believe it though. I believe, like, because, and here's something, and Lee, man, if you get a chance, hopefully you call it, because I know this is something that you've spoken about, in the past. But there are, and I guess, do you consider that like sexual? Because I think that there are, like, when I say these things, like, I guess I'm not putting them in the same category. There are people who put themselves in positions of power to have access to children, to have access to people. There was one they were talking about, somebody just started a nonprofit to help victims or something like that, and then they turned around and were exploiting them. I don't know if they were prostituting or they were violating. There was something crazy. I don't remember the whole story, but there was a guy a while back, and he got like a Nobel Peace Prize for going all over the world helping impoverished children and educating them and doing all this other stuff. Turns out he was molesting the fucking kids. Like, so it's unfortunate because it paints a bad light on people who do work with children out of the, out of being genuinely caring for the future and, wanting to be a teacher, a mentor, a coach, or whatever it is, because you have those bad apples. And it's a lot of fucking bad apples. You hear about every fucking day that are preying on children. Who was, somebody posted the picture in the group yesterday that she was, that had to be a dude. Like, that had to be a dude who identifies as a woman or something. That couldn't have been a chance. She's had a hard life. Anyway, she was like 26, molested or raped a 13-year-old deaf kid at a park. I don't think I think they put her on probation, or she might have got a little time. Not that much, of course, not as much as a man would have gotten for doing something similar. And she's back at it, and I forgot where she was. They put all her information out there, but it's like I say, it's a terrible situation. Like, and I do believe that it happens. And like I said, this is not to make light of that, but this is also to look at the fact that I believe that there are people in this day and age who are trying to capitalize off the attention. I mean, come on, we live in the GoFundMe scam age, right? Remember the people a while back who allegedly had the homeless guy, helped him out. They got fucking a bunch of money, and those stupid idiots got so fucking greedy. They're all going to jail now. They're probably in jail now. They got so fucking greedy. It was three buddies, basically, and the one got cut out of the deal. And, he was mad because he didn't get as much money as the couple did, and now they're all out there. They got like $500,000, like a bunch of fucking dumb shit. And I knew that one was weird when they were like taking pictures and they're all in pajamas together. Like, nobody's that cool. So I guess just because of the world that we live in and the lack of trust that you have for certain people, or almost maybe a lot of people until they prove otherwise, it just makes me skeptical of the ones who are out here promoting it and putting it out there. I don't know. Like I said, I got some other thoughts, but let's get to the line. I'll give out some pistachios. We'll do all those good things that we do. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how y'all feel. I want to know how y'all, view these situations. Is it an epidemic? I think one is one too many, absolutely. But is it as widespread as we think? Do you think that people are really getting kidnapped and shipped overseas? Do you think it's people who are, missing because they're no longer with us? Do you think that it's the other way around? They're bringing other people here to America? I mean, and like I say, the other one with the situation where, like he mentioned with the football players, that there are people. It's just people. Like I say, they work with these kids. They work with the youth, and they set up this shit, and they impressionable kids. They violate them, man, and it's fucking disgusting. Where's the fucking? Oh, I forgot I did that. And so, do you think there's a lot more of that going on than we want to believe? Somebody sent me a video. I guess I'll check that out after. I'm not sure who sent that. Give me a second. Let me open up the line here. We'll get this party started. And again, I want to know, I know sometimes these stories can be hard to tell, but if anybody has had an experience like that, if anybody has had a situation like that, and you care to share your story, then I would definitely love to hear it. I would definitely love to know your thoughts, or maybe if you know somebody close to you who has shared a story, I'd like to know if you think that these things are false, if they're real, and what's going on. Do you think people willingly leave? Almost didn't catch that. Woo! That was tough. All right. We're Red Team Go, I think. Make sure you're following on all the proper social medias. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram, Ed Honcho HTX on Twitter, Den Show Live at Den Show Live on Facebook. Go like the Facebook page, please. Join the Facebook group if you would like to chop it up with the Den folk throughout the day. Consider joining the Patreon, patreon.com/The Den Show. If you have Discord and you are a Patreon supporter, there is a Discord there. For some reason, maybe I set it up wrong. It doesn't add people automatically to the Discord. So if you are a Patreon supporter and you have Discord, let me know. I'm going to get that thing jumping and get that up right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have? Well, I guess let's put my headphones on first before I say that so I can hear who we have calling, right? That would be the smart thing to do. All right, now let's try that again. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
It's Belle. How you doing?
How you doing, Miss Belle? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't have a whole lot on this topic. I think it's important that it gets talked about and that it's in the media, but I don't have a whole lot to say about it, actually. I've not followed along with it. I think that it's a bad thing. I just don't have a lot to say about it, but I just know that it's something that's always gone on, and the only reason that we think that it's more prevalent is because there's a spotlight on it, and there's been a spotlight on it. In the area that I'm in, the big city that's near me is Charlotte, North Carolina, and there is a huge explosion of human trafficking and trying to really, make sure that this isn't going on, and big federal networks of people coming in and really trying to deal with it because it's a huge problem here. So, and I think that certain hubs are more susceptible than others. And one of the reasons, I guess, is because we have, main thorough corridors is what's called. And so, I would say, I-10, Houston goes from, I-10 goes from Jacksonville, Florida to San Diego, California. It's main thoroughfares when you can do these bad things is not good. But again, I don't have a whole lot to say, and just kind of wanted to, I don't know. Anyway, so that's my story, and can't wait to hear from everybody else tonight.
All right. Well, Miss Bell, I appreciate you calling in and getting the party started. And you actually made me think of something else, so I'll bring that up here in just a minute. But I appreciate you calling in and getting the show jumped off this evening. The bell has rung and class is in session.
Okay, good night.
Good night. Also, yeah, the sex trafficking thing, I didn't think about it from the aspect, because there has been some busts in Houston. I guess they put them under that too. That people, bring them from state to state, and they put them up in these hotel rooms, and they prostitute them. But like the Americans who get moved to a different state, I don't know if I feel as bad. Like I almost think that I guess you could threaten somebody's life, but if you're like in America and you're an American, you speak English, you have access to all this stuff. I don't want to be a dickhead, but it's almost like, are you really trying to escape? What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? It's D-Love.
D-Love, what's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind, man?
What's good, Honcho? I'm just calling and talk about this topic. Because I've been waiting for you to do a video, do a stream about this for the longest now. Because as of lately, I've been seeing a lot of headlines about trafficking and stuff like that. And the thing is, it's been going on for years now. But all of a sudden, they're just now saying it on, headlines and stuff like that. So, it got me thinking that it's happening at a more rapid rate and stuff like that. So, I think it is a big deal. I got sisters that are in college, and then, they're getting ready to graduate and stuff like that. So I'm sending them all the videos that I'm seeing, and stuff like that. So I'm hoping they're taking heed. And occasionally, my mother, she go to work, but sometimes, whenever she don't have her car and stuff like that, she walk like a really far walk to the bus stop at night and stuff like that. And there were times where I had to escort her to the bus stop. So that stuff do get me worrying. That stuff got me very sick and stuff. So, and also, do you ever notice the females that get caught trafficking and stuff like that and actually return, but yet they don't really, they don't speak about what happened and stuff like that? Like, have you noticed that?
Yeah,
I think that is insane. Right. No, I think it is insane because that lets me know that, for them not to speak about anything, now that they're in a safe environment and stuff like that tells me that something very traumatic happened. So,
yeah, they
to the point where they don't even want to do it.
They definitely did. They probably don't want to remember. And then there's probably still whatever network got a hold of them, or whoever got a hold of them. Like I say, sometimes these things can be very organized. They may still have people out there. They may have an awareness of what's really going on, and they don't want these people to know that they were a part of this, to come after them. So that's why I say some of these other videos that they have me concerned, like some of these almost got caught, and those things have me concerned. But I have a question for you, right? Because as a whole, if we're looking at percentages, like I say, one is one too many. And I know you're being protective brother, but do you think sending them a lot of those videos is good? And what I mean by that, do you think it makes them more nervous than they could possibly need to be? Do you think that could maybe have them thinking about or worried about things, especially when they're about to graduate college and maybe should be planning to think about their future? Do you think they could be putting bad thoughts on their minds?
You're right. If I said I sent a lot of videos, I didn't mean to say that, because I only sent them one video.
Okay.
So, just to get them to just to increase the awareness. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I do feel like at moments I am being protective and stuff like that, and probably need to chill out. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to put this. I'm gonna try to say this the best way I possibly can. Look, I'd rather blow the horn and there not be anything than to not blow the horn and there do be something. Because, like I say, people go missing.
Yeah, that's
stuff
true.
like that, and it'd be those moments, Sancho, that you wish you were, you will maybe like more alert and stuff like that.
Sure, I agree with that.
Yeah, but I do agree with you though. I do feel like I am being protective and probably should chill out. But I don't ever want to be too complacent in this world, because it's really sick out there.
Yeah, that's when your ass get clipped when you're too complacent. So I can agree with that. Like I said, I was just I thought you maybe one. There's nothing wrong with that. But I thought you were saying frequent, because there's a bunch of them out there, and so I was wondering maybe if you were sending them a bunch or frequenting those kind of messages that maybe it could spook them a little bit.
Just to get them to think. Right, just so they won't be too comfortable walking out at night and stuff like that. No, it's two of them. Like I said, it's men, so of course they'll be walking together most of the time. and I hope they do. But yeah, man, I just want to say people got to be careful, man. People got to really be aware of their surroundings and just be careful. Like, of course, if I see something, I'm going to say something, I'm going to react. Like, if I see any red flags. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, Honcho. I do appreciate you for doing this topic.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sitting on it for a little bit. I know some other people have asked to talk about this, and so I said, tonight's the night. Let's get into this conversation. Let's see what people are thinking about it, and let's go from there. But but I can understand. Like, say you have a sister, you're going to be concerned. You're having a mom, and she has to go through a situation like that. You want to be concerned, and it's better being safe than sorry. I don't think that's a bad thing. But sometimes too, like I said, I just feel like you can't have people who will be overly worried.
Yeah, just be careful, be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off Honcho because I want to hear what other people got to say about this topic as well.
Okay.
But I appreciate you for taking my call.
All right, shout out to Do Love, man. Appreciate the call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
You know it's your boy, Chill Honcho.
Chill, what's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind this evening, Mr. Chill?
Well, I saw your topic tonight and find it, I'm surprised people aren't talking about this topic more because it is a really huge problem, and Houston is the number one, I believe it's the number one in the United States when it comes to human trafficking because of our port, because of the ports and all that, because they usually they usually get, yes, the traffickers use ships to smuggle women into the United States to get into the sex rings that are in this country.
Yes.
And I've heard a couple stories from friends. One friend of mine, her sister was out getting gas around where 45 and the Beltway meet, and she was getting gas, and then these two women approached her, and one of them had a needle in her hand. As they were walking towards her, she noticed it, jumped into her motherfucking car, and drove the fuck off. Called the police, and said that they've had gotten many calls about women like that. They said that that one woman will come up to you and strike a conversation with you as a distraction, while the other one, who has a needle, will inject you with something that'll pass you out, and thus they kidnap you, and boom, you're basically gone, missing, right into the sex trafficking.
That's tough.
And then another story I heard was from a friend whose sister was walking around at night doing her usual night walk, and then a car started following her, and the good thing was that she was close to her house. She started running to her house, locked all the doors, but the car drove off. She called the police, and well, you know it, the police also got calls about that same exact car. And what would happen was they would try to drive up close to particularly women and try to strike a conversation and try to snatch. And I mean, it's just fucking crazy and all that shit. And then I mean, I find this a relatable in a way. Jeffrey Epstein, for example.
Yes.
A billionaire, ran a pedophile ring for the most powerful people, probably the most infamous sex trafficker, sex pedophile ever. He probably had the biggest ring in the world because of how he would give the most powerful people in the world access to young girls.
Yes.
We're not gonna get into that because that's not the topic of this video. I'm pretty sure you already covered it, but Epstein did not kill himself. I'm just gonna say that real quickly. And but I was wondering, Honcho, what do you think are ways to stop these? Do you think it's just to keep doing what we're doing, going in and busting these rings when they're caught red-handed, or do you think there's another way to stop this whole thing? I mean, it's going to continue happening, but like it's probably gonna continue happening. Like you're probably not gonna stop it 100%. But what would you think would be a solution to like slow it down?
That's a great question. Um, I
I know,
mean,
right? That's why I asked you.
this is probably one of the things. Usually, I have some type of half-assed answer to try to maybe come up with a quickly, poorly thought out solution. That's what I'd have to think on a little bit because to me that's a very difficult situation. I mean, because if depending on where you're taking them, how it's going, and everything like that. I mean, I don't know how you stop it because again, if you have these random vehicles, if you have just anonymous people that are doing these things and they're catching people off guard, it's hard to say, well, this is exactly what we need to do. This is how we need to target it. Because I mean, again, these people get creative, and when you try to pinpoint one method, it gets switched up, and they find another way to accomplish their goals. So that's man, that's a very interesting question. I'd have to think on that for a little bit. I couldn't really give you an answer off the cuff.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I couldn't really think of the answer. I was just wondering if you thought of another solution besides like going in there and catching them red-handed or whatever. I mean that's why when I turn 21, I'm gonna try to get my concealed handgun license because they'd go for anybody. I mean, most of the times, particularly women, young women, but they would also try to go for men, depending on like what kind of people they are, and it'd be best to like have educate young women about this whole thing because they're the most targeted demographic when it comes to trafficking. And I believe if we educate them more, maybe they could be more careful and maybe tone down people that are kidnapped for sex trafficking to like a like decline. You know what I mean? I just feel it's just in my opinion, it's not getting talked about a lot.
And I got a question. So the two women that you referenced in the stories you were sharing, were they younger women? Like what age range would you say that they were?
Teenagers.
No, exactly. That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll try. They'll. That's why I tell everyone, like, tell my sisters, like, be very fucking careful when you go out there, because there's some fucked up people that are gonna try to get you, and then once they get you, you probably won't ever like see the light of day again or something. You won't ever be like free again. And when it comes to wanting to risk, just to accept the life of being a sex slave or try to fight your way to freedom, that would be a difficult thing for me, but that would be a difficult thing for some people. But I would try to fight my way out. Like don't like I've been taught my whole life to like never back down and always keep fighting no matter what, because it's better to die free than live being a slave or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's a tough situation. My thing is like, but saying, 'cause here's the thing. So say somebody's in a situation like that, and they've been caught up and they're forced to live a lifestyle that they don't want to live, and you see someone else try to escape, and then they end up getting. They punish them, in whatever method they may punish them, say in front of everybody else. What does that do to anybody else who may consider it? Do you think it inhibits them from wanting to try to be, to try to escape? Or do you think that, that changes the mentality? Or would it make more sense for them to continue until they find the right opportunity? Should they just give, I'm just wondering because, like I say, people operate differently, and I'm just trying to get your thoughts on it. I don't think there's really a right answer or a wrong answer, but just know your thoughts on that.
Well, that's that's interesting because I would think that people that guard the people that are being trafficked, I'm pretty sure that they're prepared to step in if someone tries to escape, and then they'll punish them in front of others to make it a psychological thing.
Correct.
Telling them that if they ever try to escape, this is going to happen to you, maybe even worse. It's what they do. It's what they do. It's like they try to tear you down psychologically, so that way you have to live the lifestyle or whatever. And they punish you physically, and man, it's just fucked up shit that happens. And I mean, I wish it never happened, but it's life. Like there's always gonna be bad things that happen to good people, and you only wish that they will be back like safely one day, or just whatever happens and that they're safe. Yeah. And I don't know. That's just how I feel about the whole thing. Like I really hope that it does go down significantly in the future. I really hope people start talking about it and educate people more in the situation.
I agree. I think education is your best solution, and like you said, self-protection, self-defense is key, especially for women in this day and age.
Oh yeah. And I'm just surprised it's not talked about on the Hill a lot. Like, it's not talked. I mean, from what I've seen, it's not talked about a lot. I mean, if it has been, then you can tell me otherwise, or But human trafficking is one of the most important things going on, along with other things. And I just don't. And it's these nonprofit groups that are doing most of the work, or these celebrities that help do most of the work, like Ashton Kutcher, for example. He has legit halted his acting career to help fight human trafficking. He has saved thousands of women.
Really?
And
I didn't know that.
to get their life. He legit just halt his acting career when it was at its peak to help like thousands of women. It's crazy. And but the government just don't do anything. Like they'll like talk about it, like do their usual bullshit hearings, and then just do absolutely nothing about it.
And what do you think? What kind of government intervention could prevent it? I mean, because I think you have a situation where the government solution to everything is more legislation and less rights.
Actually, I'm wrong, because I'm wrong myself, because Houston does has a human trafficking division in their police department. But that's about it. They like fund it and all, but that's about it. And I mean, what the government could do is just put more, I don't know, start talking about it more and start getting it out to the community more and all that. And I mean, that's really all I can think they can really do. It's just that they talk about it and that's it. They don't mention it anymore. Like it's not a big deal.
All right. I think
but it is big.
I mean, they should probably be talking about that in schools more so than alternative genders and shit. But that's where we are. It is what it is. I figured out.
What's your microaggressions, Honcho? If I want to study my gender studies, then I should be allowed to use my right.
I don't have micro. I have full on aggressions. It's either we either all in or we all out. Shit.
I'm about to go PC principal on your ass.
Did
you or did you not say that you do not have microaggressions?
That's like one of the greatest characters of any TV show, PC Principal, especially that fucking that trans athlete that was a strong woman. Yeah, that shit was that was.
I can't begin to tell you how great I feel.
Oh man, well, that's a bit, Mr. Chill. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man, and sharing your thoughts with us. And I mean, there might be some other thoughts that can throw out to some of the rest of the den, and they can. Maybe they may have thoughts on what you said. How can we combat this situation?
I mean, that's the biggest question at the end of everything. How this, why this, what this, where is, Shit. But all right, well, I'll let other people get to their calls, and as I always say at the end of the call, subscribe to the Den, subscribe to Saul Sports, follow Saul Sports on Twitter, follow the Den on Twitter, support us because the Dan and Soft Sports are the realest motherfucking deal in the city of Houston.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, all right. Well, you have a good night, Honcho.
All right, appreciate it, Mr. Chill. Thank you for calling.
No problem.
All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
That's Prepaid. What's good with it, bro?
Prepaid. What's on your mind, Mr. Prepaid?
I want to say this, man. Chill brought up a great point, saying that, it's not talked about as much. And the reason being, bro, to bring some clarity, is because there's so many reports of human trafficking that are just false reports. It's so many of them. And in a city like Houston, it's really bad because I know it's going to sound funny, but so many women in Houston sell pussy.
This is true.
We have a huge, okay, for everybody in the den, the way y'all visualize a prostitute, y'all probably think of a woman in a small skirt, hanging out on the corner, you know what I'm saying, waiting for her little trick to her John to show up, and then she hop in the car and drive off. In Houston, it's not like that. We have regular women dressed up in their regular clothes, selling pussy all day long. You think these women are successful business people? They don't. They sell pussy. That's what they do.
Yes.
Now, these same women are the ones on social media talking about cars are following them. Well, yeah, because that's your trick. That's not a sex trafficker. Like they literally, they had a video from it was an officer and it got taken down, but I seen it. One of my cousins sent it to me. And the officer was like, y'all keep talking about these white vans are following y'all. He goes, them ain't white vans. These are the cars that y'all be sleeping with these men, and that's what they drive. Like,
Real Talk 290.
They've had so many reports of these cars following them. It's like, man, Houston we're one of them cities to where we have, and especially in the black community. I can't speak on what's going on in the white community. I know in the black community, we have normalized prostitution to the point to where we literally celebrate these women.
Yes.
So that's why it's such a very weird dynamic in Houston.
I agree.
We have, you would think these, that's kind of what our strippers kind of turn into. They strip, then they start selling pussy. And hopefully that leads into a career with a rapper or athlete. That's where they are with it. So it kind of sucks. Now, I'm well aware of a lot of the human trafficking that goes on with, the kids and stuff like that. So I get it because there's value with, kidnapping children and stuff. But, it's really no way for us to get a hold on it because when, we talk about human trafficking and sex trafficking, then we talk about, well, you know what I'm saying, what about the ones selling pussy? Then women start jumping up and yelling out, well, I mean, it's a job, they have a right. And I'm just like, how do you want this? How the fuck does this work?
Yeah. Real.
I mean, we gonna get the criminals or not? I mean, because if you selling pussy, you're a criminal too. So, where's the middle ground with this?
Yeah, this is true. And yes, I see some folks listing a very popular road in Houston. Yeah, we I think if you're in the city, you'd heard about it. But yeah, that's
Let me tell you something. I've seen some. I don't have to look into the den to know what road we're talking about because I know what we're talking about. I've seen some very, very peculiar things going on this road for a very long time.
Man, what?
Woo!
Don't make the wrong turn. You might get proposition. Well, my thing here is this, and I agree with you though, because you have this new day and age. Sex workers are workers too, and so even though it's currently illegal, that we want to give them a special treatment. And then I think you also have some of these situations because I think there was just a big sting here in Houston a couple of weeks back where they caught a bunch of people. You have some women in there, but then with a lot of times they try to, I don't know if they either try to convert the women to get them to turn on the pimps or whatever, and they give them an outlet, they give them an opportunity to either plead to a lesser charge or something like that, and they try to rehabilitate them and stuff like that. So then it turns into, they trafficked me or they brought me here, it's because of this. And so then it kind of turns into that, even though they may have been willing at the time, or they may have been down with whoever, whatever, just depending on how it goes. So that's why I say a lot of it is a gray area. And again, there are a lot of, like you said, that I don't believe a lot of. There's a lot of people who've put some of these videos online. It's just hard for me to sit here and believe that somebody is kidnapping you in your late 30s, early 40s. I don't think that they're going to get much return on that. I mean, you only got a like I say, limited shelf life. I think they would go for younger people. So I think it's so much involved in it. Like I agree. I think it's difficult, man. I think it's difficult to put a pin on this thing.
And you also have to understand this also. This another weird dynamic to it. So the idea of a pimp, okay, for most people who've never been around pimps and hoes and prostitution, they don't really understand it. So I've heard people tell me that like women who are being pimped are like mentally retarded, have something wrong with them. Like, no, pimps offer a type of protection that these women need. Now, they may have some mentally wrong with them going into it, let somebody pimp you out for your money, but they sign up for this service. Now, you got to understand something, and just me having just a small inkling of how this whole criminal justice system works, they rather pick up a woman selling pussy and then allow her to say she's been kidnapped and, quote-unquote, this is the guy who kidnapped me and brought me here. The reason being because majority of pimps usually sell work also, if y'all didn't know this. Like a lot of these young niggas who, like I seen it was a rapper who got picked up for human trafficking. They pick these dudes up because if they are pimping hoes, they probably sell dope also. Yes. If they sell dope, they usually money launder. They usually are pretty much career criminals. That's why these women are coming forth saying they've been kidnapped. When in reality, you can look at these women. I seen a mugshot of like people who they like were picking up. Dog, it's women look tired of the motherfucker with bad wigs on their head. These are not people being kidnapped. These are people who this what they do for a living. They sell pussy. And then what happens is they let these women give this bullshit testimony, say they've been sex trafficked, whatever the case may be, and then what they do from there is they put them right back on the streets. Yeah. And what these women do is they go back out there and they'll go with the next pimp, and that's what they do. Now, I'm going to say this also for all you people who are... Now, let's talk about the real sex traffickers, the real human traffickers, the real people come to this country who make a living on this. Stealing these people in places like, Houston, parts of Texas, California, where it's another huge problem we have it. When we have illegal immigration here, and you have people who are... And I know there's cartel members who do it all the time, stealing people and trafficking them to and from Mexico. When you guys are voting to have our borders become open borders, this is what you're going to be dealing with. You have to understand something. If an illegal immigrant comes here from Guatemala, let's say they're here from Guatemala, Mexico, somewhere hot in the south, okay? If we don't have any extradition laws, these people can go and come as they please. When they're captured in America, we can't do anything to them. We can hold them here. We can't make them go back. So if you are in Mexico and this is what you do, you human traffic people, you don't think it'd be a lot easier to come to America and do it? That's big business right there. These are things that go into this whole idea when y'all keep saying everybody should have the right to come to America. This is a free country. Well, guess what? When you let in all that type of shit, this is the shit you get also. You get the criminals. You get the bottom feeders. You're not getting a country's best people. You're getting the worst of the worst also. Now, some people come here and they're great citizens. But majority that you're going to get here who come here illegally and who are without documentation are going to be the people who are funneling these people, these children, and turn them into sex slaves and turn them into, real life slavery, man. Correct. So you have it's a two-way street. You want me to sympathize with you and tell me that, okay, this stuff is really going on, then you want to sell pussy all day. You want to tell me that they're kidnapping kids and they're kidnapping women and turn them into sex slaves and turn them to, basically sell them on the black market, but then you want open borders. You're going to have to pick one. I can't ride with you on both of these situations. I agree. You going to have to pick a side and decide what you're going to do. Because here's the thing. If you keep complaining and keep making these videos, and let's say, for example, the president, puts an executive order to shut the shit down, then y'all start crying about, oh, it's not right, and it's just keeping kids in cages, and they're keeping out good people. Okay, pick one. Because because people like me, ain't nobody finna come kidnap me and mine. I can promise you that now. You can pick me up if you want to. I guarantee nigga let me out immediately. This motherfucker's crazy. Let this nigga the fuck out. I'm not even worth the trouble.
Exactly.
You run up on my wife, I'm telling you, bro, she will shoot you through her purse. She won't even pull a gun out. She will keep her hand inside her purse and shoot you straight through it. Also, ladies, I'm going to say this fuck you off the phone. Get you a motherfucking gun. Them little ass tasers and shit y'all be having and pepper spray, that's not scaring nobody. Ain't nobody... Look, bro, get you a gun. Get you a little 380, something you can handle in your purse. Shoot somebody in the ass one good time, I guarantee people start running up on you. You have a right to carry, a right to bear arms. Start shooting people. If you start shooting, motherfuckers are going the opposite way. As soon as you reach for your purse, if they start thinking in their mind, okay, this woman has a gun, I guarantee they're going to get in their car and drive the fuck off.
Correct.
Get you a gun. Go down here. If you can't handle your gun, get you something small you can handle. Go to the shooting range, man. Get a little discipline to yourself. Protect yourself at all times. Yeah. That's just me, Honcho. You got anything for me?
Well, two things to kind of compound on what you just said there. Yeah, they looking for the easy target. So if you put up even a little bit of a problem, that's going to definitely change the mentality. And then the second thing, I don't know if it happened extremely recently, probably actually while we were on the phone. It's a whole other topic. Your boy AB back. He back at the nonsense on the Twitter again. Old Antonio.
Lord have mercy. What do you do now? Tell me. Lord have mercy. What have you done now?
AB just tweeted out, "No more white women 2020."
Lord have mercy. Oh, CTE done took over this man's brain. Lord have mercy. AB, you got in trouble fucking with black women.
Exactly.
The other day he went out here and was ratting everybody, right? Posted everybody who got arrested who's in the league and did all this. You seen that post, huh?
No, I didn't see that. I missed that one.
Oh man, AB then went out here and posted a link with every player in the NFL who's been arrested or been arrested in the past and still playing. Like he had like Leonard Fournette on the list. It had about 30 plus. He like all these people are in the league and I can't get a job. And I'm just like, my nigga, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Until he out of there, until he's all the way. That's why people ask me on the softball, would you entertain AB from earlier this year? I'm like, hell no. The dude is out of there. He's all the way out of there, and he is slowly deteriorating.
Listen, everybody out here who hear me on this call, if you do nothing else, learn from Antonio Brown. You can literally self-sabotage yourself and ruin yourself. He is a living testament.
Yes.
Majority of people in America who have it are literally the Antonio Browns of their family.
Correct.
Shit was going good, and they decided to fuck themselves up. And then they blamed everybody. Even after they fucked up, they got a second chance, because that's what happens in this world. We always get a second chance. Some of us get a third chance. And then instead of us being accountable, we point the finger at everybody else.
Correct.
Until you hit rock bottom, you don't even understand what the fuck you're doing to yourself. My advice to everybody, if you are under the age of 30, learn this from me. Learn from others' mistakes. Mm-hmm. If you learn from other people's mistakes, I promise you're going to live a very, very prosperous life. If every time something happens, you're the person fucking up, you're trying to learn from your own mistakes, it's going to be hard to pull yourself up.
Correct.
Learn from it, grow from it. Y'all be blessed, man.
No, I really appreciate the call, man.
All right.
I agree, JB. Yeah, when he had the blonde mustache with the little blue, little semi-dread thing, I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. I'm like, man, this dude here is terrible. Dude is a cancer. You don't know what he's gonna do from one day to the next. He's the worst. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? It's Toxic.
Toxic. What's on your mind, Toxic? How you feeling? First, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm good, man. I just watched the best black quarterback in the NFL tear another team up.
Deshaun didn't play tonight.
He's amazing.
Deshaun definitely didn't. Deshaun didn't play tonight.
No, I know. He was at home where he's going to be at the beginning of the year.
Russell played tonight? Was it Russell Wilson? Did he play tonight? I don't know.
Russell Wilson.
I mean, some people say Patrick Mahomes is black.
Sierra's wife wasn't playing tonight.
That's terrible. That is so true though. Pat, I mean, I consider Pat a little bit different. Pat, I don't think he played tonight.
He's got to stop. He's got to stop running like a pregnant teenager.
No, man. You see this? He walks like an injured ostrich. I mean, that's before the ankle thing. He's weird. He has a weird walk to him. So I don't know what's going on with that. But you know what? I like Lamar. I like Lamar. I mean, I was rooting for Lamar to get in the league. I'm glad that he upset the status quo. It's not better than Deshaun, but anyway.
But no, man. I heard part of Prepay's call. It was hard for me to wait on hold and listen. Did he say anything about prostitution being legal? Because I don't want to carry on a call you already had.
No, I mean he just basically said that you can't have it both ways, because when you try to when you want to talk about combating the human trafficking, sex trafficking, and things like that. But then, say if you come in and you start arresting these people and close down some of these borders where people are bringing these people back and forth, not having these open borders. But then, you want to say, well, sex work should be, it's not a crime. Like you were saying you can't have it both ways. Something along those lines. So.
Okay. So kind of along those lines. I just wanted to make sure, because a lot of times we think the same way. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm kind of with you, how you were talking at the beginning of the video, that you're not even 100% sure that all of these stories are true. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to get into that, because you know how that makes people feel. Somebody might scream in their pillow or like punch their pillows or something, so I'm not going to get all into that. Yeah. But as far as the human trafficking with kids, I definitely think that that's an issue. Mm-hmm. And the way to solve it with adults is just make prostitution legal. That will solve so many problems. It'll solve the human trafficking with these so-called adult women. Mm-hmm. And it'll also solve young men falling in love with whores.
You think so?
Because then they could just go get their nut off like they wanted to in the first place. And then it's just another business transaction. It's like putting 20 on pump 3. No difference.
Or maybe 20 for 3 pumps, something like that. Who knows? But you know what I saw? I saw something really interesting. It's funny that you mentioned like the prostitution
Just
thing.
Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat.
Message.
Not to be confused with Anthony Bailey. Smiley face.
No,
Smiley
not
face.
Anthony Bailey. Anthony Bailey's not crazy like Antonio Brown. But and this seems kind of irrelevant. But this is why I want to tie into why I say I think that men would still fall in love with whores, is because did you know? I think what do they call them? Zoomers in that age demographic, that on Pornhub, because Pornhub is I joke about adult educational entertainment. There's a lot of informational stuff, and they release their statistics at the end of the year. It's up like 120% that they watch a lot of cuck porn. Like the younger generation, they're really into this whole cuckold thing.
Hold on. They watch a lot of what porn?
Cuckold porn.
What is that?
The cucks, like basically men who allow other men to sleep with their significant other while they welcome it. Yes. That's
a popular thing.
It's like one of the most popular categories amongst Zoomers. I think it's the most popular category.
A man could die for something like that.
Man, it's a willing and allowed thing. I mean, this is where it's going now, because even the younger generation, they're saying now is like that younger. I forgot the demographic, like early 20s, right? They're having a lot less sex. They don't even want to have sex with women anymore. They're not having sex. They're playing more video games, more doing other weird shit. So that's why I think even if you did legalize it, they would just be like, well, honey, bills are getting tight around the house. You're going to have to go out and get a job. She's going to start whoring, and they're going to be okay with it. So I don't even think it would be like, I think they would still fall in love with known whores if that was the case. Like, so I mean, but I don't know. I'm not against legalizing prostitution. Yeah, you do what you want to do. I'm just going to make, if you meet a new chick, make sure you check her work history. I don't know if you put that on the resume or not, but
Yeah. You could be right. Because, I mean, they don't really do shit in real life anyway. The younger generation, most of their social happenings happen online anyway. They don't know how to conduct themselves when they go out in public, so you could be right. I might be coming at it from a 32-year-old's perspective and not a 19-year-old, but I just know I have a lot of friends that impregnated a whore,
Yeah.
and maybe if they could have just went and gave her, I don't know what they cost.
It's
but
before
gave her
about
some
$40.
money,
That's what I'm hearing.
and slept with her one time, then maybe they wouldn't be in the situation they're in, because now they're in debt for some of them another 16 years. Some probably got like 8 or 9 left.
That's tough. That's tough. That's a terrible situation to be in. Yeah, I mean, well, it depends if they're trash, because the trash likes to fuck for $40 in the club. That's what the song said. I don't know if inflation has anything to do with that. That was a few years ago. But then, with Robert Kraft? He got his $59.99, something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the going rate is these days. But so $49.99. Okay, thank you, prepaid. No plus
That
tax.
sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable.
And I mean,
it's like a full tank of gas in like a sedan.
Yeah. I mean,
that sounds reasonable.
If they legalize, do you think that, I mean, would that make it cheaper? I mean, if everybody's doing it, because I mean, it's basically happening now. But if you just really allow people to advertise and do whatever, I mean, the marketplace, it's going to adjust. So, I mean, somebody's always going to try to undercut somebody. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be competitive.
Yeah.
And I bet you gym membership, gyms would increase their profit.
Really?
Because I know if I was a pimp, I would make sure that my stable of whores is in immaculate shape so I can charge more.
That's a great idea.
So it would probably boost the economy. They might start dressing a little bit different. They probably dress the same. I don't know. It doesn't matter what they wear, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, that was all I had on. So I think prostitution should be legal, and I think that there's more benefits to prostitution than to human trafficking, because they're not the same thing.
Okay. Do you think, like, should it be licensed in your opinion? Like, if you are going to operate like as a legal prostitute, should it be like licensed, or should it just be kind of a free range affair?
Well, I mean, it's going to have to be licensed. They're going to put. I think it should be licensed. They should sin tax it just like they sin tax cigarettes and alcohol and stuff like that. Because it's just another frustration vent, I guess.
Okay.
What do you think? Do you think it should be licensed, or do you think you should be able to pop up a shop right next to the local daycare?
Oh, that's terrible. I think that it should be licensed. I think that, there should be like a requirement as far as, health checks and things. I mean, there should be some stipulations in there. And, maybe your license determines if you have had any issues. Then, I mean, there's people out there who have some permanent issues, and maybe they can have access to other people who have permanent issues. So I'm not saying that should necessarily remove you from the marketplace. But again, I don't know, because that could be sketchy. People make false fucking IDs all the time, so that might get real dangerous. But then it doesn't matter if you do or don't.
You
But
give them time to make corrections. Like when you red tag a restaurant,
yeah,
maybe you have to red tag a brothel, and then they have so many days to clean it up.
This is a great conversation.
It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Like, it's been for sale since the beginning of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand what the big deal is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm a firm supporter of legalized prostitution. I have no problem with it. I mean, people they're doing it anyway. So, maybe you cut out the middleman, or however you want to. I think that offers more protection for the women who do it. And then, like I said, I think you tax them, like you said, and you benefit from it. If you're legalizing weed and everything else, just fuck it. Let's go ahead and just run the gamut.
And the beauty of legalizing the prostitution is you can't. Well, they can and they are, but they're still actual women. Whereas with the legal weed that everybody thinks they want, the government's just going to put all kinds of shit in that to fuck you up, just like they did the food and everything. They're going to water the weed with Monsanto and shit. So at least if we legalize prostitution, they can't. I mean, I guess you could farm hoes. I don't know. I mean,
cloning technology has made some great leaps and bounds. They're pharmacy. But I think in China they said they mixed they cloned like a monkey pig. Like, this is a thing. Like they monkey. But I don't know why they did it. Sounds terrible.
Monkey pig?
Yeah, but a monkey pig thing is out there, and it's a thing. So, that cloning technology it's on the rise. So they you might be able to get you like a stable. Like if you got like one chicken, she's a bestseller. Maybe you can get you like a couple of copies, and then you take over. I don't know how that works.
I think this is turning into a business plan more than a casual phone call.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write up a NDA and some. We're gonna have to get some lawyers involved here before this goes too much further.
All right, so that's all I have, man.
All right, Toxic man, I appreciate you calling, man.
All right, later.
All right. That's true. Toxic and Big M do sound very similar. I don't know. I think I like Toxic more than I like Big M. Nah, they both all right. I'm just talking shit. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This is Miss Grace. I'm back up.
Hey, Miss Grace, how are you this evening?
Good. But you sent me out this morning with no den. It was like leaving the house without my cell phone.
Man, I forgot. See, because the last couple of days, like there's like the classic YouTube setup, and they have this new YouTube studio bullshit that they're moving everybody to start using. And the live streaming in the new YouTube studio, it sucks because you have to do like an extra step. So it means like normally I could just fire up a program and just go live, and I don't have to go into YouTube. But with that, you have to go into YouTube after you started the program. Then you have to go and click go live in YouTube. And so the past couple of nights it wasn't working, so I was using the old one, and I forgot that last night I needed to go back and do that last step to cut it off. So it looked like it was a 10-hour stream. When I woke up this morning, it was still going. So yeah, it was a little bit of a fuck up. But then once it cut off, I think everything got right.
Yeah, that's why I had to send you an email because I was going through withdrawal. I was at the gym. I couldn't chuckle to the den. I had to listen to that funky ass music that they got in there. But that guy that just hung up, that sounds so much like Big M, was that the one that called yesterday and he mentioned my name about? He said no disrespect to Miss Grace, but where she said that she knows many more good women than men. It must be an age thing. Yeah, that was no disrespect. Tell him it's all good. Okay. You know what I mean? Because part of it is that, but the other part is what I was trying to get at is cultural. You know what I mean? Because I really had to think about it today, and I was thinking about the people, the women in my family or people that I know. And for about every 15 women, young girls that I know, there was like one thought pocket. You know what I mean? Because it's not popular. It's not. Even my good friend's daughter's married to, well, he was an NFL player until like maybe 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? And she's just so breathtakingly beautiful and such a wonderful woman that even for the first 2 kids, she didn't want any nannies or anything around her kids because she'd rather do it. When I had a housekeeper, I got rid of the housekeeper. First of all, I straightened up the house before she came because then she wanted to go grocery shopping for me and cook for my family, and I don't want anybody else doing that. That's for me to do. I don't want anybody else doing it except for if I'm on vacation. But, okay, here we go. Last night, this is how I'm always going to start off mine. The Brenda, that was too cute when she says that Lizzo needs to put on drawers. not panties, but drawers. He said he was all messed up behind that. And Shelley Long said something about, he said, let me practice cutting up old T-shirts so I can make that wonderful design. That was funny. You all are funny. This summer, I'm in South Beach like a few times a year, and we go to Central America every other year. This was the first time that my daughter and granddaughter and I were detained at the airport in Belize for more than 2 hours because of human trafficking. And I was in such a panic because we travel, and my granddaughter she just turned 13. She's been out the country like 13 times. You mean, but we went, and this was her like 3rd or 4th time, and I'm trying to tell them through customs, that she's been here before, and the lady said, nope, it's not on here. And then it wasn't until I got home I said it was because her passport had to be updated. They kept us there. I mean, I was in such a panic. We were in such a panic. And they said because Donald Trump, made them pass these laws and get more strict because a lot of human trafficking and things like that, there, especially with children, happen in that place.
Yeah.
So after they released us, we were thrilled, but talking to everybody else on the little island, they were saying it happens to everyone. They said that's the new thing. They're not playing with it. But I didn't think we were going to be able to stay in because they said some people, they're putting them on the planes and sending them back, and, you had to wait for somebody to come and sign off on it. So I said, what should we do the next time? And they said that we had to have a paper from the court stating that my daughter has full custody of my granddaughter. And then we realized she does have that paper because she had to get it when my granddaughter was like 3 years old to get a passport. My daughter had to go to court, to prove that she has full custody of my granddaughter. But we all have the same names, the same last names, everything, and they were not playing. They left us right there, and one of the girls gave 0 fucks. And my granddaughter was acting like, oh, la, 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 la. I cussed her little ass out in secret. I said, when we're going through this here, you better break down and cry, and you better start acting like you're in distress or something. I was freaking mad. I'm going to slap that kid. Yeah, because she was like, like no big deal. No, I said, when we go through things like this here, you better sit up there. I almost wanted to give her the porticky pinch that my mother used to give us. You take a little piece of the skin between the nails and you twist it. That's what I almost wanted to do to her. But, so it is. It's big. But the other thing is, remember I told you how these students, they lie. I knew this was going to happen for years now. These kids are such liars that you better not even sit in a classroom with a kid by yourself. I keep my door open. I am just so careful. There was a time that you could sit there and give kids rides homes and all that other stuff. You can't do that anymore because kids will make up stories. So one of the other new things that these kids would do around here, they the bad ones, they take off and go sleep at someone's house and don't go home, and all of a sudden they're on in the newspaper and on the Facebook thing, a missing child. And I show it to my daughter. I said, look, I see another one, that bad kid. Yep, that's another bad one. And then they get back to school, and they're, like, popular, and they're talking about it, and they're laughing and joking and this, that, and other. Their friends know where they're at. These are just the bad kids. They do it all the time because they're seeking attention.
Correct.
And there's no repercussions of it. Nothing happens to these kids afterwards, Honcho, when they act like this here. They're always taken up. And it's really sad because it's almost like the boy who cried wolf, because one day one of them's really going to come up missing. But when I look at the Facebook, I just scroll right past it because that's another badass kid. They're just freaking at their friend's house having a good time, probably smoking some weed or whatever. Or as my mother used to say, shooting reefers in their arms.
Shooting reefers? Oh, my goodness.
My mother didn't know about drugs. She told us to be careful out there. Don't go out there because they'll have you shooting reefers in your arms.
Oh, man. That's funny. It's like,
yeah.
Who's saying that in the den? I think it was Jason S. who called in one time. They're out there doing blunts. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I was telling somebody, I said, I noticed you said the word reefer. That sounds really old school, reefer.
Yeah, I like to use old synonyms from time to time.
And I could tell some people in the den, there's some more OGs besides me. Just by the words that they use and the things that they say. I'm like, okay, this person's a little bit older, this person's a little bit older, but yeah, so nope, they're cracking down on it. And so I told my daughter, get that court paper, and I said, make 10 copies. She made several copies, and I said, and everybody, we take it and we put it right in with our passport and put it aside, and we are to travel with that court document every single time we take this kid out of the country, because we were lucky this time. They stopped us at the airport for that, and then we were on our way out when they checked our luggage. Remember I told you we go in and we support the animal shelters?
Yes.
And I must have had like $800 worth of stuff for the dogs and cats and dewormer, because the guy there, when I sent him an instant message, he said he needed dewormer. And my veterinarian gave me 2 bags of things. My friend that has the pet grooming, the other one that has doggy daycare, plus I went and spent a few $100s. So I had all this stuff for the dogs and cats, and he opened up that luggage, and then we got stopped again. That had never happened before. And I said, but I said, he said it's medicine. Some of it is medicine. But I said it's over the counter. They said, no, you need a permit. You mean, so I almost begged, pleaded, and cried, and he let us through. So we were detained twice in one day at the airport this past August. So I told the guy at the shelter, I said, I don't think we're going to be able to do this anymore.
So there's no, I don't know, I mean, there's no way like around it or to be able maybe like to ship it or anything, or, I mean, is it just, that's unfortunate, because I mean, I love the animals too. That's it kind of sucks.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, I said, when you ship things to other countries, it's not like here. Their mail isn't delivered on a regular basis. You mean they go through customs? It could get there and take a long time. You know what I mean? And if things have to come back, they send it back. Not the same way it went. If you send it priority, you mean they'll send it back on a slow boat and it'll take 2 months. All kind of crazy. It's not. We take all of this that we have in America for granted. You mean they have to go to a place to get their mail, or they get the mail, once every 2 weeks, and I mean, it's weird. That's just the way it is. But I thought about that, and I'm like, okay, what would I need to do to get a permit? I said, well, the animals are just not going to have to get anything. They're just going to have to deal with what they have over there. I'm not doing it anymore.
No. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Who knows? I might change my mind. Because we go women beliefs every other year. So by then maybe I'll say I'll try something else or see if I can get some type of permit or whatever. You know what I mean? To take care of the animals. But, okay, that's all. That was nice to hear Brenda's voice yesterday. Yes. And she was saying hi to everybody in the chat. And I'm like, ooh, I wish I was in the chat so Brenda could have said hello to me, too. Hey, my prepaid, Dakota and everybody, Miss Bell and all of y'all. But I'm going to get off this phone, and I'm going to listen to the rest of the den.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the call, Miss K. Grace. And I'll make sure to end the stream properly tonight so we won't have any technical difficulties in the morning.
Oh, please don't, because tomorrow I had to pick up the two little girls, my granddaughter and her friend, early. They have early release tomorrow, but the parents are all working. So I'll have the little girls. So I need to be listening to some den so I can get my head right.
All right, I got
okay.
You. All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling, Miss Grace. Man, y'all, Broderick got to hating on the pimping, man. Look, just because you out the game, Broderick, don't make it bad for the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Hi. Oh, man. So if you're on the line, like I said, I know sometimes people tell me that they're on hold, and sometimes the calls don't show up. So if you are on hold or anything, you may have to hang up and call back, and whatever it may be. But definitely, I would like to know y'all's thoughts. Anything with the human trafficking, sex trafficking, whatever thoughts you may have. And I think somehow we've gotten to legalizing prostitution. I think we talked about sex work and some stuff like that a while back. But if you have thoughts on legalizing prostitution, or if you would like to complain about Shannon stealing everybody's pistachios, you can definitely do that. Yes, Miss Misty. Well, not glad you're not feeling well, but, good to hear from you. That's the proper way to put it. Sweetberry, you can't talk about nobody, because Sweetberry, you are the number one, assailant of pistachio thievery. What's the motherfucker deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This is Brenda calling you.
Hey, Miss Brenda, how are you doing this evening?
I'm fantastic, almost terrific.
Okay. Well, what is it going to take to get you to terrific?
Get these whores off the streets, off these corners, anything. Just stop all this.
So you are anti-legalizing the prostitution. You're not with it?
Well, I think you're seeing younger and younger kids now. You know what I'm saying? So that's a scary thing. Yeah. And I worked in the schools forever and ever, and them juniors and seniors was turning tricks like that, making up beds, baby. So that ain't nothing that just started, and I know it's not going to go away. But I am concerned because what kind of life is that after 10 years, say, 10, if they get 10 good years? So, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, and don't get killed. Now, that's what I'm going to tell you about, because we had a murder here, and, find somebody's body just thrown like trash. That's what I'm saying. They were just thrown out of the car. But, play with fire. You get burnt, and that's, yeah. So shout out to all the girls and the guys because I'm having a party and I didn't invite nobody, so that's all right.
What? I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Wait a minute. Did you hear that laugh? No. I didn't have enough to spread anything, because if you ain't got a lot of drinks, you don't want to just pass. We can't pass no ball around.
Okay.
But no, that I am concerned about that. It's getting younger and younger and younger, and it's not just, not just them chicks that need a fix no more. It's people really hustling. Them girls are really hustling now.
What do you think has changed there? Why do you think it's getting younger? What do you think do you think there's an external influence that's causing that? Do you think it's just, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you got a friend that comes to school and she's got $400-500 in her pocket, and you got two, what do you think? If I'm weak, I'm going to want to know how you getting that 4 and 5. So, but the chances now, I don't know about nowhere else, but herpes is just, it's the thing here. Like every time you name somebody, they got herpes. I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad I don't have no children in school, like, high school and stuff like that. But, yeah. And as I said, working in the district, I used to have to go with them, all times to the doctors, and they wouldn't want their parents to be in there with them, but hell, they was doing that then. And I mean, that there, just think about it. It's worse now than ever. It's what, I was told. So think about that. If it's worse now than ever, what's it going to be like in 5 more years? I'm giving it 10. I wouldn't dare give it 10. I'll say 5. So 5, that means, hell, you could almost double that.
Yeah, that's only gonna
just think about it.
Yeah, because you have a lot of people out there who ain't gonna say nothing, and they gonna. You have people. And here's the thing: it's like because people are. I'm not gonna say everybody. Some people are foul, but I think most people would just continue to keep going if it ain't showing, and they gonna pad what they. I got
That's
it.
what I'm gonna say. What if they don't know, Honcho? What if they don't know? If they're frequent flyers, that's what we call them. If they're frequent flyers, what if they don't know? One night stands have increased. Well, you know that.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that what if they don't know, that they're really honest, don't know? Who do we blame then? And see, if you're in a triangle, I learned this 100 years ago. If you're in a triangle, take that triangle. It used to be 3 people per one, okay? So that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Now, if you doubling that triangle now,
yeah, that's
just double it.
Yeah, so you doing some dirty dealing. I mean, you really taking a risk.
Well, that, but then your children, like children that are born, with everything, just name it. They're born with all of the bad, diseases from the mommy. And I'm saying from the mommy because if they're vaginal births, then naturally they're going to get them. And they're coming out being treated. And hell, if a lot of them are already on drugs, and that too, what kind of shit is that? It's real scary.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, but the thing is, what is it going to take to stop it? Because I mean, honestly, even though we're sitting here talking about it, and it's a scary thing, but it's a thing that's happening. So
well, for those that will listen, now this is how you have to do it. For those that will listen, they'll listen. If you got 5 people and 1 person listens, that's a big thing. And you notice I didn't say 50 people and 1 person listens, 5 people. So I'm trying to give some benefits of doubt. Okay, but you got to have somebody reinforcing this stuff too. And they don't have that. If they don't have the parental support at home, that's a negative. So But if you get one chick to listen and anything, just anything, just like if you do this is what's going to happen. And they listen, but sometimes a lesson learned is better than one taught. So that's the price you have to pay. But hell, I listened. I listened. All you had to do is say, this is what's going to happen if you do this. No, well, I ain't going that way. Because it takes off, cuts you off. Well, hell, even years. If you listen, you can get the help that you need to become the queen. Honcho, don't you understand that's how the queens are made? They listen.
The queens listen. I agree.
That's what I was telling you the other night when I told you I said Queen Brenda. No, that's really true, though. If you listen, you're going to get further than them that's over here think, oh, no, they ain't talking about nothing. No, I'm going to do it my way. No, I didn't want to follow nobody, so I didn't do it their way. I did it my way.
Yeah,
and guess what? They still doing the same shit they was doing then. Only they think they really ball shit. No. And I don't know how to say that people aren't good parents because if they choose to have these children, they think they are. But parenting is just not the way that it was. And I'm even going back 25 years for some of them. They didn't want you to tell their children nothing, and, they took all that out of the school punishment, and So you're almost on an island by yourself, man. It's sad, but that's the way it is.
So you feel like you have to look out and kind of just look out for you and yours? That's your best option?
Honcho, I talk to mine all the time, and these is grown people. And they better listen, because I don't want to go pick up nobody from jail. I'm not doing it. They already know the deal. No. Listen, and you'll hear the story. This is what's going to happen. But I've been blessed, I should say that, up front, because I haven't had to go get them. So I've been blessed. Now, have they done some side surfing? Yes, I'm sure they have. But no. But, that doesn't make me perfect. It just that, I just was aware of what mine was doing because I was in their neck. I know they was glad they got gone. I'm serious. They brought their way there, and then to get out, I come back home for a couple of months and I'm going to do this. A story like, well, which I will help you help yourself. If you need to get your money right, yeah, come on home. But no, And I wasn't going to repeat that stuff to him too many times either, Honcho. If you know the story, do what you know to do. And this is what's going to happen for you. Now, if you sidetrack, I can understand that. Let's go over the story one more time. But hell, we're not going to keep going over the story every day. But no, it's not just for me and myself. It would be for anybody that wants to do it. And that's what the thing is. They've got to want it. Because if they don't want it, you can talk your head off, man. So, that's where it is. I'm gonna tell Kate Grace about them draws. I gotta tell her about that. She knows about draws. Or keep all them draws clean. No, that's what I started to say last night. Yeah, cause to keep the draws clean and the nose. Whatever was I gonna say? Clean draws, clean nose. That will get you everywhere you want to go. Think about what I just said. That'll get you in any house from there, the White House. You can go to the White House with that. Clean draws and clean nose. Ain't nothing going up your nose and ain't nothing in your jaws. Ow! I'm so sorry nobody. I'm so sorry nobody came to this party tonight. Shit, I'm going to bed now, Honcho. I'm sorry.
Miss Brenda, I appreciate you calling me.
I'll call you again, okay? Don't fall out in the chair, nut.
I'm just, you caught me off guard with that. You caught me a little off guard with that one.
Don't fall. I was concerned about you last night, though.
Like I said that.
You was a little bit withdrawn. You was trying to pull it off. But I could see you was thinking.
What was it?
About the YouTuber stuff, all that bullshit. I know you are.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm definitely, because here's the thing, because we have a different, and like I say, it's not even about the channel per se, and that's why I say I'm gonna share some things tomorrow. Once I've been working on some things, I'm gonna get everything in order tomorrow. But it's because I love this community. Let me get my ass out to see. I love getting to talk to y'all each and every day.
They trying to figure out why you laying down the seat talk to me.
No,
that's what they probably trying to figure out. Well, why are you laying down the seat talking to Brenda?
No, because I'm just because I'm just my mind. But no, seriously, because I love it. I cannot deny this. I love this community. I love all of y'all, man, and I appreciate all of y'all so much. Just to
no, I can tell that you do, because nobody does anything night after night after night after night. Nobody. So yeah, I can see that.
I was like, man, so I just want to make sure that I'm on my toes, and what we can do to protect this and keep this thing going. Make sure we have, if just whatever I have to do to make sure that if anything was to take place, to have a contingency plan. And so that's just kind of was on my mind last night once I saw some of the updates and some of the details and things. So it was kind of fresh on my mind, because I just read some of the stuff before getting in the den. And so, like I said, I've been working on some plans today.
Are you familiar with Trey King?
No, I'm not familiar.
He's another. Well, he's a blogger, and Trey came on today and said, "Get your badass kids out of the room. This is a grown people. Every day I come on here and say it's a grown people conversation, and I ain't gonna do nothing I ain't done before, because them this heifer," or he just goes on and on and on. But what he was saying is, all these rules that these people have, there's something behind all that. You do know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, but you can only go so far into the wall, baby. You don't want to become a part of the wall. Like, you can put your back up against the wall, but don't you go into that wall. Don't let them do it to you, Honcho.
No.
No. The answer is no.
I'm not, like I said, I just got to put in a little bit more work. I got a couple of things that I think will be solutions and alternatives. And just like I say, it's been too much. We've been doing this for too long, and there's still so much more to go that I'm not going to let YouTube dictate the outcome of this situation. And there's just so many. So I'm not as worried about it now as I was yesterday, because I'm not going to change a thing. I'm not going to change. This is what makes the den great, is the fact that we had these conversations, the fact that there's so many diverse opinions, that everybody's entitled to think the way they think. And to me, this is something special. Like I said, I enjoy it. I like it, and I think that the people who come back each and every night or catch it when they can, I think y'all enjoy it too. So, it's up to me to make sure this thing stays maintained.
That's the main thing, though. That's the main thing. As long as you don't let it take you through that wall, you're okay. But our backs are against the wall all the time in some situations, but never go in that wall. Oh, hell no. Look, I'm not a wall girl. Not at all. So, bye, Honcho. I'm gone. I gotta get my party finished. Because I already got started. I gotta get my party finished. Yeah. I ain't doing nothing, but I take a glass of wine each night. That's why I spend my party. Okay. So I better go to bed for sure with that.
Okay. We'll take a sip or two for me, Miss Brenda.
I can do it.
Okay.
I can do that.
Well, I appreciate that, Miss Brenda, and I thank you for calling in this evening. Oh, still there? I'm not sure. This might have cut out. I don't know if you could, but if you're still there, I appreciate the call, and shout out to Miss Brenda. I don't know what happened. It sounded like it cut out a little bit. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? be in school. All right, that's enough of that. SPM, South Park, Mexican. Yeah, I hate
Just
SPM,
Sarah
man.
donated $2 through Super Chat. Joshua is sending D-pics to a random person.
Oh, that's
See
terrible.
no evil monkey. Smiley face. Smiley face.
That's terrible. Man, I'm saying SPM, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. And I know people have their own views and opinions. Niggas especially hate South Park Mexican. South Park Mexican went hard. There's nothing you can tell me that will ever change my opinion. There's nothing that you can tell me that, and again, the situation he got caught up in, very fucked up. When I first heard about him, I'm like, he's a disgusting piece of trash. But boy, that Mexican can rap. But then when I heard the story from the other point of view, it makes you question some stuff, knowing how this city operates. You're just kind of being a man. No, it was not. It was not prepaid. Oh man. So again, like I say, if you're on the line, if it got you on hold, you may have to hang up and call back. But shout out to Miss Brenda. I love Miss Brenda. Keep your nose and your drawers clean. That'll get you anywhere. Man, that's funny. I gotta start being. See, this is the thing too. I don't like about with the new YouTube thing. It has the timestamps off, so when I can jot down the time, it's actually off. The old way used to work just fine. I could, I'm like a few seconds off. Sometimes a little bit more off. So, it is what it is. Let me see. All right. It didn't read? Do I have the thing off? No, that was it. That was South Park Mexican. That was on the thing. Let me see where I'm at. I got all kind of crazy windows open. What do we got here? All right, let's close this. Hold on. Let me see what I can do about that. Let me close one of these chats. I don't need to have both open. Nah, that wasn't prepaid. Only quadruple OGs would know who that was. I shouldn't have to say anything else besides that. And by that reference, they should definitely know who it is. Luke, what's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to everybody. Anybody I missed that may have slid in. I apologize if I didn't get to shout you out. I try to shout y'all out when I catch y'all coming in the den. Sometimes I'm on a call and somebody will be talking, so I don't want to necessarily be rude. If there's a gap in the conversation, I usually try to shout y'all out. No, not Kissington. You're fired, DeMarkey. Billy, you're also fired. So there's a back and forth. Oh, Ms. B, there's a wrench line, and a lot of people would attack me. What did I say? Oh, what did I say we're gonna do next time? We're gonna hold like a debate. We're gonna have candidates for the next wrench, and we'll allow a debate. Everybody can call in, and we'll let the people vote for the next wrench. Because I will get attacked. Let me see how many female wrench holders do you have that are active? I think it's just Heidi and Rashida. Are they the only women with wrenches? Because I'm all about being PC and making sure everything is spread fairly across the board. I gotta look. I'm gonna have to look into some things. Because like I said, I know we have some moderators who haven't been super active, who haven't been around in a minute. And then we'll see. So we'll have to see. What is the wrench? The wrench allows you to have like the ability to time people out, to hide people from the conversation, to remove messages, things like that. So that's kind of where it is. Yeah, Shannon, you'll never get a wrench. never, ever. But I will get you a cucumber, Shannon. I got a question though, because something came up on one of the last calls, and when we were talking with Miss Brenda. Do you think that people should be able to sue another person for STD test results? But I mean, it would have to be somebody that you had sex. Like I guess you'd have to prove that you had sex with them somehow. Like, should you be able to sue somebody else for STD results, like their test results? Oh, Cartier. Yeah, I forgot. I think I gave Cartier one on her birthday. I just never took it back. She don't ever use it, so it's like it's not a thing. So yes, don't they have a way like to? I thought there was a way that they could tell who. But I don't know if you need blood or something like that or whatever. You should be able to stone them, but not sue them. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so I see the people saying no. Interesting. I wonder about the people saying no. Can you? I mean, I didn't know. I had no idea if you could. I think that would be interesting, though. You know what I'm saying? Well, you gotta watch out for Shelly. Look, fellas, hey, y'all better stay out of Shelly inbox. That's a warning sign. Because I mean, seriously. If you out, doing the doodle, and you get a little burn on your noodle, and you go to inquire about the person with whom you share desire, and ask them if they are also suffering from the fire, and they turn out to be a liar, what other situation could perspire? Freestyle King, hold up, baby. Who is ESG? I'm the Freestyle King. But my thing is just like, I think there should be a thing, because I'm sitting here, thinking about the conversation we've had about legalizing prostitution. And, how do you kind of take it on? And where is Broderick at, damn it? Broderick need to call in and, Broderick, I want you to call in. Let me see. It's about that time. I told you I ain't finna go all night, which I've been doing 4-hour dens the last few nights. I do have a couple things I want to work on. I want you to call in, Broderick. It'll be the last call for the evening. And, but that's what I'm saying. No, but even though you should be able to sue. I mean, look, if somebody didn't hit you with the he, then you need to know these things. Like, I think it's your right to know. If somebody has caused you a situation in which your health has been compromised, you should have the right to find out. You know what I'm saying? I want brothers to call in and I want to talk about the thing that you were saying with why you don't think prostitution should be legalized. Now, I was giving you a little bit of shit earlier about some of the things, but I'm not against it. But because I mean, let's be honest, anybody who is going to do it would consider is already doing it. Is already doing it, right? But here's the thing, though: there's certain stuff you could bag up, and you could still get tagged up. So, and then they talking about super AIDS. What if super AIDS burns through the prophylactic? You know what I'm saying? So, because I want to know. There's same-sex transfer laws in each state. Really? Okay, I need to look into that then. Man, that's what I'm saying. Abstinence, is that a noun? Super A's over super chat. No, that's tough. Because there's like, I mean, because like some of these people are talking about, oh well, you shouldn't have to tell anybody if you have AIDS. We heard people talk about that, and we know there's certain communities that those numbers are higher than others, and we know who certain candidates are targeting for votes, and so I'm just curious. See, but I don't want to call in tonight. All right, well, I'm expecting a call sometime soon. Yeah, Heidi, you hate. You're hating on Greta, Heidi. You know, Greta needs love too. She's Person of the Year. I should be Person of the Year. I've complained more this year than anybody. The little kid goes and complains for a couple of minutes. Person of the Year. Skips school for a bunch of days and complains for a couple of minutes. Person of the Year. I have been complaining, and I was skipping school a lot when I was young. You know, God damn it. I've been complaining for a long time. I'm complaining shit every day this month at least. I ain't getting no fucking Person of the Year. This is bullshit. So I'm highly upset about that. So here's the deal, though. I guess let's bring it full circle. And before we get ready to wrap it up. Yeah, but that's the thing. But no, in California, they made it like a misdemeanor, didn't they? I thought like a year. I don't know. It was at least it was a bill on the books or something. I don't know if it passed yet. This was a couple of years back, where they were basically trying to say that that if you gave somebody or knowingly gave somebody AIDS or HIV, then it becomes AIDS, that it was only a misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, especially in the Wild Wild West, because that's basically what it is now. They're trying to minimize a lot of that shit. Like, to me, because, well, you can live with it now. It's not a death sentence. Well, yeah. What if you can't afford the medicine? What if you can't? I think anything that makes you have to alter the way that you're currently living, that has been directly handed to you without your knowledge by someone who had the power to control it. And I know you can talk about, what is it, the PrEP pills and all of this stuff. They're talking about, wow, you can do it and you can have it and not give it to anybody because you got the PrEP pill. Well, there was a case, heard about 2 months ago, I think. The person who was on that shit failed. So is that a risk you want to fucking take? Like, I don't think that, you know, that there should be any playing around. I think that, like I say, it is not to ostracize or, you know, continue to push the stigma for anybody who may have HIV. That's not the intent. But at the same time, whether you were willingly engaging in risky behaviors, whether you got duped or whatever it may be, the goal is not to continue to pass it on, you know. And I know they said that there's stuff now that basically allows, you know, you can basically have kids and do all these other things now without it being an issue or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's super cool. You gotta love advances in science, but I mean, I'm not with that shit. Like, to me, that's negligence. I don't even know if you want to call it. I don't know what you call it, but it's let me see, this Heidi talking about free Helga. That's not what they were saying in fucking World War II. I know damn free Helga. Did I say that out loud? Maybe I did. But and hold on. The German names are Marlene and Hans. Well, those are the new Germans, and then the old German is just German. They didn't even give it a name. Greta Thunberg, the chick. How dare you? How dare you? You know. So, how dare you, Heidi? But so that's my thing, man. All right, that'd be nice. Once, free Helga. Yeah. So, Easy didn't he get stabbed? Yeah, Easy. That situation was unfortunate. So you don't have butt sex and chances are you won't get AIDS. No butt stuff? That's tough. You know, I was just telling y'all about the whole thumb thing. Guess I can't listen to Future anymore. That's tough. I would assume, yeah, because didn't nobody have the HIV medicine? And then, like, they hit it. He's like in jail. He bought the Wu-Tang album and all that shit. And he was just talking about, all right, I'm going to cut the line here. But he was just, I see my boy Dre in there. What's up? Shout out to Dre. I saw, you know, that he had, like, bought the company that made the AIDS medicine, like, jacked that shit up, like, super high. So, you know, there's that. No. Because who is that? Somebody asked in the chat. Let's talk about. This is terrible because we're supposed to be having a conversation about sex trafficking and human trafficking, and then we're talking about legalized prostitution. But when the woman is in doggy style, if you put a thumb in her butt, so or not a thumb, I guess finger was asked, but Future has a song talking about I'm gonna put a thumb in her butt. So that's super funny. Oh man, yeah. So there's that whole thing. So you start talking about thumbs and butts, and here goes Lady Licious. What's the motherfucking deal, Miss Lady Licious? How are you this evening? I guess I'll ramble for a few minutes, and then we'll get ready to shut it down here. But let me see something. As I see the movie Queen and Slim, I've heard some comments. I'm not gonna watch fucking Queen and Slim. It's more that fucking Hollywood propaganda bullshit. Like I said, I told y'all when I first saw the preview for that, I'm like, I'm not watching. There's just certain shit, man. I see preview. I'm not gonna watch this bullshit. Like if you don't see the underlying, message, I guess you could call it. What is it? Like what is the thing nowadays? What is everything they tell you? Goddamn cops, they're running around the streets with AR-15s and AK-47s. They're mowing all the niggas down. That's what they're telling y'all, right? That's what they're selling. All right, Vince, appreciate it, man. And that's what they'll tell you. That's what they'll have you believe, right? And so, what better thing to sell black people than a movie where the tables have turned, right? A movie where the tables have turned and the cops don't get the win over black people. Niggas gonna go see it. And they're going to be emotionally attached to it because they've already sold y'all this emotional attachment to everything that's going on in the news these days. It's an easy win over niggas, man. And people eating that shit. Queen and Slim, it's the most beautiful movie I've ever seen. I'll never watch it. I'll never fucking watch it, dog. Miss me with the bullshit. Like, and just miss me with the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Right? Basically. That's what I'm saying. Like they killing it, man. It's super easy. Like people making it too easy. They're making it too easy. Well, this is what they're mad about. Let's make a movie about it, and let's just twist it up at the end, and then we'll make a bunch of money off of it. They gave y'all that Harriet bullshit, eating that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's crazy. But people, again, like I say, you don't see the undertones and the shit. I mean, I can't make anybody see anything. I'm just not going to waste my time watching it. And I'm not going to entertain the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's the formula. That's what I'm telling you. That's what they do in those Hollywood rooms. They go in there, they sit down. All right, somebody get on Twitter and tell me what the niggers are mad about today. I got you, boss. 1 second. Let me slide over here to Black Twitter. What's trending? They're upset. They're mad that they're not getting representation in movies. Okay, well, what can we do? First, we have to make sure we appease the women because the women run black social media, and if we give them what they want, then the simps will follow right behind them, and everybody else will fall in line. Well, how about the Little Mermaid? That's brilliant. They're already wearing the red wigs. We'll give them the Little Mermaid, the black Little Mermaid. That's what they want. And where the fuck you go, man? Or some other nonsense. What are they mad about today? Another one of them has gotten shot and killed, even though he was in the wrong. They're mad about it. They're upset about it, and they want retaliation. Well, they'll never get it. But what if we gave it to them in the form of a motion picture? Well, God damn it, that's genius. And they go find somebody, the proper director who will follow and abide by the rules and do the things they want them to do. And, wow, there you go. I'd cut the line, Lady Licious, but, Thelma Louise. Well, let me think about it. I don't know if I wrote a line for Lady Licious. I guess since we had an abrupt last call, I'll open up the line and we'll let Lady Licious close out the evening. She always has some positivity for us. So give me just a second, and I guess we can do that. Let me open the line back up and give me 1 second. But my thing is, like I say, man, and again, if you like it, don't listen to me. We don't all have to agree here in the den. Like, half the time I don't want y'all to go. I want y'all to argue. Let's argue about some shit. But if it's got good points, you know, I mean, you got to agree. If it's a good point, it's a good point. I mean, what can I say about it? But if you don't see that they've been eating, especially off black people, they've been eating off your emotions for a long, long fucking time, man. A long, long time. It's time to, like, break free of the nonsense. And Broderick in the mixer, you know what? Since we ain't going 4 hours tonight in the den, I might hop on the mixer. I might do a little bit of time on the mixer. But he brought up a good point where we were talking in the mixer the other day about the lack of diversity in black movies. And why is that, you know? All right, Lady Licious, give me a holler. And like I said, we're in the call on Lady Licious call. But the lack of diversity in black movies, it's the same shit. It's always the same shit. The mixer is like... it's like Twitch, but it's the Microsoft version. I like it better because, I mean, it's like, the chat is like real time, and the fucking stream is like real time. Like, the shit you see on screen is basically it's like a few hundredths of a second off, millisecond, whatever. It's like, I mean, it's basically, you're saying, I like it because the interaction is so legit. I wish that fucking, you gotta have like a Microsoft account. I mean, you can get the app, but you can go live from the website. That's the reason why I love it. It's like it's right there, and I wish YouTube would be like that. You would think that they would have something like that, but what is it? Latency, low latency, ultra low latency. It's like they call it faster, like FTL. It's like right there. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
You already know who it is.
Well, I know who it is, of course, but the people must know. Let the people know who we got calling in tonight.
Oh, motherfucking Lady Licious. Y'all know. So, how goes it?
Mm-hmm.
Everything all right with you today?
Yes, everything is good. Yes, everything is good.
That's good. That's good. Whew, it's been a long day. You know what, though? I know we probably had this discussion, though, so I want to kind of bring up a little something, right, that I noticed.
Mm-hmm. What did you notice?
So, I mean, we can save it for a later day. I just wanted your opinion, but I think we did have this discussion. So, I actually got to watch a little bit of TV. Like, I've been watching YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Netflix and all this and that kind of shit. I don't really watch TV. They have too many damn commercials. So, anyway, but I noticed, you know what I'm saying, that on the commercials, they do a lot more, I guess, like when you see couples and stuff like that, you see a lot more interracial or, you know, even to the gay community on commercials now, right?
Yes.
Which I haven't really noticed before. But what has really been funny to me, because I've seen actually like 3 different commercials with interracial couples, right?
Yes.
But it's always been the black female with a white man. There's not too many interracial. I haven't seen one yet. Maybe there is one, but I haven't seen too many commercials where it's a white woman and a black man.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like that's kind of strange, ain't it? Like, I don't know. Is it really that big of a difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like is it a lot worse for it to be a white female and a black man compared to a black woman to a white man?
I think there's so many layers to peel on this onion. The Cheerios commercial had a bunch of backlash when that first happened. But I know that there's the Geico commercial where she's like her husband started becoming old or whatever, and there was like an addict. There was one. I think there's I can't remember. It's a couple of them. It's a couple of them, but yeah, I think the majority that I see, like you have a couple of black man, white woman ones. I can't remember. I want to say that one where they have the bed and breakfast. Is that one? Or am I mistaken? But
I don't know, might be, but it still does
but
kind of seem it's more the other
yeah,
way.
I agree. I believe it's more the other way. I see more of them the other way. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's so much. Like I said, that's definitely a multi-layered thing. I don't want to say we've discussed it kind of brief, but I don't think we dove much into the media aspect of it. I think we kind of focused more on the reality of it, but it's
Yeah, so I mean that's my biggest question. That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? I guess the next time that we talk about it, is it really that much more acceptable for a black woman to be with a white man than it is for a white woman to be with a black man? And
um
in a sense, it kind of does seem like that. You know what I'm saying? And then so my biggest question is why? Because it really does seem like that. I like, for instance, okay, so our family, is pretty mixed. Hello, you know what I'm saying? Because my husband's black, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's very mixed. But it just always, I mean, they accepted me off gate. It was never an issue. But I've noticed from, my friends or something like that, you know what I'm saying, that they either had a hard time and in past relationships that I've had a hard time with other people accepting that I was with black men and I've always been with black men. I mean, that's just what I choose. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate against anybody or discriminate, but that's
Black
just
women
my
hate you, Lady
liking.
Licious.
So, how?
Black women hate you.
I guess. You know what I'm saying? I do. I get the stares, yo. Oh my God. It was when I went to the club recently, which I'm not going no more because I'm too old, I guess. But motherfuckers be hating. But it's like I said though, but if a black woman goes to a white man, it's like the most awesomest thing. Like a whole praise goes on. You know what I'm saying? When they decide to go with a white man, it's like, oh wow, you know what
Man,
I'm
I
saying?
don't
And
I don't know if you were you here that night that we talked, because I think we talked about that one night
I
that when I
think,
shared a bunch of tweets from black women who basically openly said that I hate when black men date white women, but when it's the other way around, I don't mind it. But like, I mean, openly said it. Just, I mean, it was. I don't even think I shared all of them. It was at least 20 of them. So
mm,
there's plenty. I mean, it's a necessary thing. I mean, that's kind of how it works. And again, some black women, they're anti all of it, and then you have some that are that they don't like to see. And it's my thing. Like, I don't get it. Is they hate to see it. Like, even when we just talked about the bulldog situation, right? And people were mad at him. A lot of people get mad when a black celebrity goes out of the race, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, I mean, let's 999,999 times out of a million, you didn't have a chance in the first place. So it's like, why does it even really matter? But when you're talking about men that are on your level and on your scale, you don't really want to fuck with them no way, most of them, and it's just something to complain about. Um, like I say, everything ain't for everybody. Some people gonna like certain shit, some people not gonna like certain shit. But the double standard is the disgusting thing. So either you do like interracial relationships or you don't like them. And so to me, people who
right.
play that card, to me, like I say, they're kind of scumbags. Like, either you're okay with people dating out their race or you're not okay with it all. I mean, it's fine to be either way. I'm not going to complain if you strictly, hey, same race, that's what you believe, that's what you like, that's fine. If you are strictly, hey,
Mhm.
everything for everybody, let's mix this whole thing up, that's fine. Like, if that's your belief, but just stay true to what you believe.
Right.
And so, like I say, but those in particular, but I have noticed that a lot with black women. Um, Black men, I think they just don't give a fuck. If the pussy pink, they fucking with it. But there are so not a lot of black men. It's just like, what, I'm just I'm sticking strictly to my race. And I don't think I haven't seen that double standard in men. Like, I haven't seen black men say, or nowhere near that. I don't think I have seen it. A black man say, well, that woman's dating outside her race. I hate it, but I'll do it. It's like, I've never heard that, but I've seen. I mean, buku women.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, It's like, to me, that's why I say it's kind of dumb. I think that's more of an emotional response. Either you with it or you're not with it. I think black men who date white women, they don't care what's going on the other side. And if you're a black woman that dates white men, you shouldn't give a fuck what the black men do. Like, you opening up your borders, do what you do, like, and that's what it is. But if you don't,
Right.
then I get it. Like, if you just say, "Oh, I'm not with that," but I'm not doing it myself, then that makes more sense. So that's just kind of where.
Right. That's you know what I'm saying. If you're not for that, okay, fine. But why discriminate against what somebody else is doing?
Mm,
But that's it's like, okay, I'll say it's not as bad,
mm,
you know what I'm saying, as it used to be.
mm,
You know, I guess like in my about maybe 10, 15 years ago,
mm.
it's not as bad, definitely. But now it's going to the point where it's definitely starting to become more noticeable because it's on television that way now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mean,
I
you
mean,
don't see it like that.
this is true. Or
Like, so even on television, you're discriminating.
I mean, and I agree. I mean, but what you got to do is you got to look at the porn industry. All right, that's where all your answers lie. Black men, white women, you get blacked. High quality porn, extensive storylines, all this other good stuff. When you get the black woman, white man, you get ghetto gaggers. Okay, and that's
Right.
terrible stuff. So, I mean, take it how you want to. Somebody probably just got mad. I still love y'all, but it's all a joke. Don't get all serious. But I hope
But
somebody
like,
got
it's
triggered
like
by that.
even if I tried to go with a, you know what I'm saying, even if I decided to, because I'm bi, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying. So if I decided to go the woman route,
Mhm.
I ain't gonna lie, I choose for the fucking black female before I go over the white female. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying. It's just something about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, black women are very attractive. I'm not gonna say white women aren't, but it's just something about them. You know what I'm saying? That I really like. So, and that I'm just more attracted to. I don't know exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it might be the booty, might be the color of the skin. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
But
now,
it is what it is. I mean, that's just me.
now,
I don't discriminate against nobody.
I feel you. I feel you. I definitely feel you. So I mean, it is what it is. That's my thing. If you're open to it, do what makes you happy. But I think more people just get frustrated. Like I say, it's just like, to me, that double standard is my problem. I think they're in the media. I think maybe that's a way of easing into it. Maybe it makes it more acceptable. So I don't fucking know. You got to look at who they're trying to appease, and then at the same time, you have to look at. I think you have to look further than just race, even in these commercials. Like, look at the people, look at the commercial, look at who the demographic is that maybe they're targeting. I think there's generally some underlying political nuance to some of these commercials too. So I think you got to look at multiple factors aside from just black and white, black man, white woman, white man, black woman, or whatever. I think you got to look at a lot of the other underlying, like, what are they trying to sell? Who is this targeted to? You look at how these people are dressed. What is the kind of the theme of the commercial? I think there's a lot of little things that you have to look at. There's a lot of little things you have to look at to really get it.
I guess. Because I see it something that, I don't know. 'Cause like I said, in my family, we're pretty mixed up a little bit. Well, not as much, I guess, from me and my husband, side and stuff like that. Um, it's like, everybody else is pretty much on his side, you know what I'm saying? It's me and him, and then it's his cousin and her husband. You know what I'm saying? But his cousin is like, I mean, they got money. You know what I'm saying? Like, his uncle, got a nice house. They lived in Chicago. Now they in Virginia somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They travel the world. His wife is from the Bahamas, blah, blah, blah. They kind of uppity.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Very uppity. And his cousin, you know what I'm saying, got a doctor's degree and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? She just got her master's or whatever, the degree in it. And some other stuff. I mean, she's like been on the news, you know what I'm saying, like all kind of shit. Because, you know what I'm saying. But she's married to a white man. And if you look at the commercials, yeah, it kind of seems like it's more of the uppity people, you know, in a way. I mean, you don't see it any other kind of way. And then, I mean, like I have this one chick that I work with, you know what I'm saying, she's black, she's loud, you know what I'm saying, she's a trip. I love her, you know what I'm saying, but she is really into white men. Like, she will not, she dated a couple of black men and said that's not her thing no more, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the white men now. So I was like, you know, is it because, you know, you got treated a certain way? Like, I don't understand. But her husband now, you know what I'm saying, like I said, he's white, but he's like a total jerk to her. You know, like a straight up asshole. You know, like, okay, her phone broke. Y'all got kids together. You know, you don't want to pay for it to get fixed. So when she goes out to get it fixed with her own money, you find out and you get pissed off and you're ready to kick her out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that type shit. Like, you're a real asshole. You know, I look at her like, and then she doubts herself a lot. Like, he puts her down a lot. And it's crazy because she kind of looked like Cardi B, but like sexier. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got that light-skinned, high yellow face like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's beautiful. And it's just, I just be looking at her like, why do you even put up with this? You know what I'm saying? Why do you even believe that you're not pretty or, you know what I'm saying, whatever? Because he really puts her down like that. And it's like, what the fuck? So, I mean, it really doesn't have anything to do with color. If you're trying to base it on, you know, oh, well, black men treated me such and such way. I mean, it doesn't matter what color you are. You got assholes in every race. You know what I'm saying? You got ratchet females in every race. A ratchet female does not necessarily have to be black. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's what a lot of people stereotype it as, but that's not true. You know what I'm saying? You can have uppity people in all different races. Like, it's ridiculous to me. You know how much they stereotype folks in different genres or, you know, basing it on color. It's crazy. And it's like, come on, y'all. It's got to be 2020 in a couple of days, couple of weeks, and we still on this bullshit. Like, it blows my mind, Honcho. I don't get it. No. I just don't understand.
No, we finna turn up in 2020. We finna take it back to 1950. We finna get this thing back right like it's supposed to be.
Oh Lord.
Let me stop.
I want to go back to the 90s.
No, here's the thing, though, man. Here's the thing. Cause see, what I was gonna say, I had a couple of rebuttals to what you were saying, but everything's that, you know, he just sound like a nigga but white. So I don't know. I can't really debate or use any of the arguments that I was gonna use. So she just might be fucked off. I mean, you know, my thing is this, right? I feel like go where you're treated best. So if you feel like, you know, if you're black and you feel like white people treat you better, go with a white person. You know, a white chick, white dude, whatever. I don't know, whatever your taste is.
I'm telling you now, whoever listening. And then, ain't no better.
And then, but I'm just saying, I mean, it goes to the individual. But I'd like to say, I don't think a specific race, just because they're a particular race, are going to treat you better. It depends on culture. But I think this, like, you go what makes you. That's what I'm basically saying is just go where you feel happy. Like, if you feel like, I know there's a lot of black women who felt like, especially darker skinned black women, felt like, you know, black men put them down because they're dark and this, and they say, you know, white guys appreciate their skin, they appreciate them being natural and all these other things, so they venture in that direction. That's fine. Like, I don't, like I said, me personally, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, at one point in time, I was like, oh, you goddamn scumbags, you got to stick with your race. But I don't really care. People can do whatever the fuck they want to do, because I'm going to do what I want to do. And I can't tell anybody how to live their life and how to make them happy. Ultimately, you got to try to be as happy as you can on this planet without interfering with anybody else's life. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the way I look at it. As long as, like, your happiness doesn't interfere with what I got going or what the next person has going, do what the fuck you want. Now, if somebody wants to just be nosy and get in your business because they have nothing better to do, well, then that's their fucking problem. But ultimately, like I said, just like go retreat at best. And if a person is, maybe against what the rest of your family said, well, obviously your family, if this is the person that's making you up, they ain't treat you, they treat you like shit. Well, fuck them. Go do what you want to do what you got to do. It's just it's just a crazy situation. All right, Toxic Femininity, I appreciate you coming through. That's my whole deal.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and
You're right.
and it's just like people gonna.
And like you said, it's not like everybody's like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely awesome. I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is the same way. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. So, like I say, it just is what it is. But some people have to have experiences and grow. Some people never grow. Some people are who they are, and it just is what it is, man. I would. Harvey, I wouldn't.
Oh, hell no.
I wouldn't let it impact you.
Hell no.
Hell no. What you talking about?
Oh, hell no. This is the second time. See, every time I talk to you lately, I'm starting to get offended. Okay? Because every time I know I'm like the last caller, though. But still, okay? Every time I talk to you, you either laughing about something in the motherfucking chat room, you totally distracted and shit like that. You don't hear nothing that I say. And then you got the audacity to be yawning all in my ear and shit now. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that the chat is hilarious. And, with the last call, sometimes I have to get a little oxygen to my brain. So, Shelly, you shut your ass.
Oh, okay, that's what it is?
Yeah, that's all a yawn is. A yawn is just getting some oxygen to the brain to,
Oh, okay. I like that. I'm below that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, no, I mean, that's all it is.
Right.
Don't take it personal. Don't take any offense to it.
Nah, I don't. I'm just fucking with you.
Don't snowflake on me. But yeah.
Oh, don't act like that.
So I mean, that's all. I mean,
No, that. There you go.
No.
So let me start cursing your ass out in German.
Well, yeah, you already. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's what I meant to ask you. So.
What?
This is completely off from everything we've been talking about. This has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about this entire conversation. Okay, so I know niggas who say they like fucking with Spanish women because they start saying stuff in Spanish when they get freaky. When you get it in with your husband, do you start saying stuff in German?
Nah, I don't talk during sex. I think it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
Okay.
I'd rather not. So yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like. Especially if it's good, like you ain't gonna hear shit except for moans. I ain't talking, you know what I'm saying? I might do some sign language on your ass, you know what I'm saying, if it's really good. But other than that, I can't say too much. Like all this daddy shit. I might say that maybe at the beginning, when I'll be starting off, but during, nah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And if he say something to me, you know what I'm saying, during, it just depends on how they say. You got that whole Barry White thing going on, and you say something like, who pussy is this? You know what I'm saying? Then I might be like, yours. And that's all you're going to get. Like, I ain't finna have a full-on fucking conversation with your ass. You know what I'm saying? I might answer your question. That's it.
Take a fucking a fucking census survey while you fucking. I guess that's how that works. Okay. I was just curious because, like, say you came and you had spoke the German the other day, and so I was just like, I wonder if she does that because I know there's Spanish women who be with all of the poppies and oives and shit.
I know, right? But that sounds so sexy, though. That's different, though. When motherfucker like puppy, and then that's cute. You know what I'm saying? In German, it just doesn't sound that cute. Not like that, no. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Spit and shit.
I know you did. Oh, that's so fucked up. Did you just really do that?
What happened? What
Oh.
I missed? I must have missed it.
I thought you was trying to mock me and stuff for the German language over there.
No.
Yeah, I heard that, yo. Fuck yeah.
That would be rude.
So fucked up.
No, that's
not what it sounded like. That's what I sounded like to you.
No, I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say I tuned out, but I didn't even try to decipher it. I'm just like I'll just sit here until this is done. So
Right. That's what whatever you did, that sounded like a sneeze and a cough and whatever all in one. I don't know what the hell you just did. But
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
fine.
I got some allergies or something going on over here.
Bullshit.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no, so, no. Okay, I'm just being nosy. Y'all know I have a tendency to be nosy and, ask questions I probably shouldn't be asking, but I'm gonna ask anyway. So.
Well, that's fine. You know, I don't mind. I don't care.
Yes, and that's why I appreciate
You
you,
know
Miss
what
Lady
I'm saying?
Lisa.
You know, nothing wrong with that. Sometimes, hey, but sometimes, curiosity kills the cat. That's what they say.
But satisfaction brought it back. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
There was
I never heard that. Okay, that's fine. Got you a point. Couple of kudos for that. Okay. I'm gonna devo that too.
like stealing my lingo. Ain't that? That's tough. Okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to start jotting this down. Okay. I got one question.
Okay.
What is the corniest pickup line that you have ever said to get some?
I don't really use pickup lines, so I don't think I can't really recall. I think normal conversation works better than anything else. Like, I don't, I may have done something awkward to get some attention. I mean, not like, because it used to be this noise we used to make that sounded like those little fraternity calls or those sorority calls them chicks used to do. So when we'd be on camp, like we called it the chicken head call. And so what we would do is, like, if you're in a place and there's like lots of chicks around, like say we're at the mall or something, and so we would make this particular noise, and it wasn't really aimed at anybody. And this is like, say, if we in a group of 3, 4, niggas, we just going somewhere to go kick it. And you make this noise, and what you do is you look to see what chicks turn around. And whatever chicks turn around, those are accessible. And so you start seeing niggas shooting off in different directions, going to holler at whatever chick turned around and, trying to see if they found some success with like getting her number or whatever it is. I mean, you just do just a random, it's like it was a particular noise. I'm not going to show y'all the noise or whatever, but yeah, it was just like we make this one noise, and then, like I say, if she turned around, just like shit, you probably had a high chance of getting her
I
number.
want to know what the call was.
Huh?
I want to know what the call was.
I'm sure you do.
Why you gotta leave it out? I mean, you can't just half-ass tell the story and not tell
No, because see, this is. I mean, but this is a game that I can't. This is like that. There's. People can create their own calls. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some little young niggas. DeMarque gonna try to take the call and fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got no game. He gonna be trying to use and just fuck it all up. Like, this is information that you must pass on. Generation to generation. So if I ever find a protege that I feel is worthy of sharing this information with, I will pass him the call when he's ready. So
the only one that I ever remember people going all the time was at school. Like, what the fuck is that? The hell? There was another one. Ooh, I forgot. Damn.
You ask if she's into
laughing.
Disney Plus and chill.
What?
I don't know. I'm just nothing.
Don't worry about it. Okay, well, that was my call for today. I guess I gotta hurry up and finish that fucking work.
All right. Well,
that's why I was coming in so damn late. See, it be busy as fuck, and then I can't listen to the show. That should be pissing me off.
See what you gotta do.
To listen, and then that shit don't work.
So y'all be having y'all got a TV in the store?
We do, but it just like displays dominoes shit.
Man, fuck that. You gotta figure out a way to hook up the den to the TV. You know what I'm saying? And then that way, when people come in and get people, don't do that, because somebody gonna write corporate. I'm offended. There's some fucking black guy on there, and he was saying shit he shouldn't have said. You fucking piece of shit. They were calling in, and they were talking. They were saying racist stuff, and they were talking about Donald Trump and Lizzo, and I don't know. This is a bunch of bullshit. I'm offended. I just came in to get my goddamn large pepperoni, and I didn't want to be inundated with that bullshit. And so,
Oh wow, that's how white people sound to you.
You have a particular segment of them. I mean, not all of them. That's just my I wouldn't say a pocket protector. But there's some about there that, yeah, absolutely, yes, they do. So there's that.
Tickle me with that shit. I like that. That was too funny.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, Miss Lady Licious, as always, I appreciate your call. We're going to get ready to wind it down and call it even. So I thank you for capping off the night with a little bit of positivity. And I don't even know so much. I ain't going to try to say it because I'm going to fuck that whole word up. But I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a good evening.
You're almost welcome. You too.
Oh, man. Dizzy Pleasant to shit you on the way. That's funny. Shelly said she had a dude pull out a wad and ask you for change. He pulled out a wad, then he shot a wad. Anyway, so this is why I got to start hedging my bets, because I don't know how much longer we last on. Right. So you say, Miss Shelley. Miss Juicy Reviews, what's the motherfucking deal? D minus? But we're talking about Shelley. We're talking about the snapper. That's a D minus, really? Damn, I gotta step my game up. But here's the deal, right? Yes, and y'all know how we do in the deal. We always start off on one topic, and by the time it gets time to wind out, we're on something else. But it kind of flows with the conversation, you know. When the conversation's about one thing, it just some of the calls. I think that's why I say y'all. It's so important, because when you call in, you give your thoughts. It extends the conversation, but it also changes the dynamic of the conversation. And so it. Let me see. It is 12:30, 8. Yeah. So we're on Central Standard Time. When you go to Atlanta, what you got to do? You got to turn your watch to Eastern Standard Time. So, you know, there's that. But here's the deal. I'm gonna get off and talk maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, then slide. Let's slide to the mixer for a little bit. About to say 1 o'clock or something. Grab something to eat, something to snack on, and then we'll do all that. But you know, already. Well, that's what's happening. Man, you know, it is. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? It is. It's always great to kick it with y'all. Like I said, but I ain't looking. We ain't looking. We still did 2.5. We ain't gonna do 4 tonight. But I just want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all. Like I say, tomorrow, y'all know Fridays is always Talking Dirty After Dark. And so tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is something that got brought up last Talking Dirty After Dark, and it's kind of funny that that Miss Lady Licious called with what she said, because tomorrow we're going to talk about sexual stereotypes. I think that's a very interesting thing. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Yeah, we've been going far. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've been going far. I feel like getting shortchanged. This is all weird. I actually got some energy left still, so I'm gonna show Mixer Crew a little love, a little random Mixer day. Man, that's something I've been. There's some things, like I say, I don't want to dive into. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do with the sauce. 2020, we're gonna start diving in. I just got some things, like I say, had some minor setbacks last year or this year, and so I'm it's full steam ahead. Like I said, I'm full steam ahead. So definitely. But those are that's definitely a plan. Something I really want to do in the future. Depending on whether or not they retain the services of a particular coach. So I read that real quick at first, and I thought that shit said Pennywise. Then I read it again and realized that that's not what that said there, Ronald. So, there's that. Man, make sure you guys are following. I think you go to Den Show Podcast. I know the thing was off. It had redirected wrong, so I fixed it yesterday. Make sure you guys are following Den Show Podcast. Like I said, maybe next week we'll see what the timing is like and get going from there. May start doing some day dens on that. But like I said, that'll be purely a podcast. It won't be any video to go with it, unless I find maybe an alternative to maybe stream video on. So if you want to watch from a video angle, and then if you just want to be on the podcast, because the podcast has a chat with it too. I'm gonna be looking into seeing if I can get somebody to build a custom chatbot for that. See how much that's going to cost, because I think I know the chatbot is also part of the whole shtick. So I'm gonna see if there's a way to make that happen, so you can enjoy some of the tomfoolery that we do also on Spreaker. So if you go to denshowpodcast.com and make sure you sign up for that, make sure, I think there's I don't know, some type of button for alerts or whatever. Make sure you got that, and we'll make that happen. I don't know. See, this is why I can't be telling y'all the topics ahead. See, now y'all already started the conversation. But I fucks with y'all, man, and I appreciate y'all. I really do. And maybe I say it too much. I don't know. Maybe she was like, I get tired of this fucking guy every day. He tells us this. Yeah, we get it, Honcho. We get it. Goddamn it. But I do, man. I rock with y'all. I fuck with y'all, and I thank y'all for just being a part of this community, for all the support, for all the suggestions, for everything that just goes with it, man. But we'll be back at it tomorrow, 10 p.m. Central Time, whatever time it is in your part of the world. And with that being said, man, y'all make sure let me put the shit on here. It's the right thing to do to close out properly. Make sure you're following on all the proper social medias. Again, like I say, with a lot of changes and things that are happening on YouTube, we just want to be on top of it. And where we at? Ed Honcho HTX. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. I don't use the Den Show Live. Socials anymore on Instagram and Twitter, but I still use Den Show Live on Facebook. So if you fuck with Facebook like us old folks, us old boomers, if you will, go like the Facebook page. Come join the Den Show Facebook group. A lot of very interesting things going on there. Dita Gamma. See, I told you was gonna stay there. I'm watching you. But I appreciate all y'all, man. And pistachio research, I got you on. But man, I do. I fucks with y'all. But I'm finna go eat some of my magic chicken breast recipe. Oh, word, yes. I forgot about the Patreon. Yeah, patreon.com/The Den Show. And I'm gonna be doing some special stuff there. Like I said, I finally got my podcast booth set up, the closet. And I finally put all that shit up. It took way longer than I needed to. I told you I had that raggedy can shit. See, this is what I'm thinking. Should I? All right, I got a question for y'all before we wrap it up. I'm trying to figure out if I should be on some real ratchet shit, right? So I told y'all I bought a can of spray-on adhesive the other day, but the fucking top was raggedy. I mean, I sprayed most of the shit that I needed to, but the top kept fucking up and falling off. I had to put some acetone. The glue was getting stuck to it. All this bullshit. But it's still like a pretty full can. But I ended up having to go buy another one because I couldn't really use it, right? And so I have a can that's pretty full. And the other can that I bought, I only had to use like a little bit just to finish everything up. But I got this receipt, right? It's the same brand, same type of can and everything. I wonder, should I really be ratchet and just go return the other can? I mean, technically I should, because it didn't work like I needed it to, right? I mean, it was defective. So should I take it back and get my money back? Because I mean, I got two fucking cans and they're both pretty much full. But that's the thing though. The top literally was messed up. Like, I started trying to spray it. I had to like put it back on and try to do a bunch. Like it kept fucking up. And then like I say, the glue wouldn't come out of it properly, so I had to soak it in acetone because the glue was like clogging it up. All right, I'm gonna take the shit back. I gotta find a bullshit reason to go to the Wally. I'm gonna take it back, get a refund, and buy some candy. So I don't know. I was like, fuck it sometimes, but I guess I'll take it back. Let me give Oli some pistachios because she asked so sweet and so nicely. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Dakota, for putting it so properly. That traded VHS movies back then. That was tough. You know, but I mean, it truly was a defective product. Like, I'm not like, I'll keep the new can. I mean, that's what it should have been in the first place. If it wouldn't have been fucked up, I wouldn't have to buy a second can, right? So, yeah, it's not, I feel better about myself now. So, all right, man, let me get up out of here. Like I said, I'll be on the mixer like here, probably about 1 o'clock my time. So if you folk to mixer, mixer.com/HonchoSaucy. What did again? Let me see. I got you on the list. What you? I'm gonna have to check. You know, since you slid out on us, I'm gonna have to check on these early birds. I'll take a note of it. Let's see. Dealer Glamour has a complaint about EB early bird pistachios. Well, you got I don't know. Was Ron a long time? I don't remember. I don't think he was on time wrong. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I got my list. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go and check I'm gonna check the timestamps. I'll see what I can do. All right. But let me make sure. Hold on. Look, I do owe some call pistachios. I ain't gonna lie about that. I think the last person I gave the call pistachios to was Chill. Give me a second. And we're gonna have to get a Big M and Toxic Femininity on a call. We're gonna have to do the same thing like we did with Trill and with Trill and Prepaid. All right, since Just Sarah vouched for you, I'm gonna take her word for it. I don't know. I'm gonna see. Yes, it's racism. Yes, it is, absolutely. But here's the deal, Ronald. I gotta check you because you be coming here talking about give me some pistachios and you be 17 minutes late and shit. But I fucks with y'all. Let me get up out of here because then I ain't gonna have time to eat shit before I hop on this mixer shit. So I fucks with y'all. Shelly, you already got your shit. I done checked you off the list. You got your shit. I appreciate y'all, man. I fuck with y'all. I love y'all, man. Y'all have a great night. Y'all ain't got to go home. I'm cordially inviting you to the mixer. Again, mixer.com/HonchoSaucy. Be on there talking some shit. I got one or two options. Either can fuck with some Age of Empires again or some Hitman. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Hitman's kind of more convenient to play on the box. I ain't got to do as much. So probably fuck around and play some Hitman. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I'll put the link in the thing before it's all said and done. But I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm gone. All right, let's see. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm taking it clacking. All right, I'm going for real this time. Y'all go to bed. Okay.